good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is, whether you in the world, it is your Lord and Saviour, joined by four gorgeous chuckle fucks that are the esteemed members of the Law by Night Discord server. Link in the bar below if you're watching this on say YouTube, because you're joining us here with what I'm hoping is going to be an absolutely crack-a-lacking Werewolf the Apocalypse Revised Edition Chronicle campaign with me, your Lord and Saviour, as your storyteller games master. We are using Revised Edition for two main reasons. One, because your mum gay, and two, I just prefer the system over 20th Anniversary Edition, if I'm being totally honest with you. I think thematically it's Werewolf at its peak, and no much shade to Onyx Path, but I really think it's a bit of a nothing burger, and what's the bits that work really well with 20th Anniversary, it's just copy and pasted from the three best books of Revised Edition, so we might as well just be using Revised Edition. There's not that much of a rule change, so if you've played 20th, you should probably understand the vast majority of what's happening with Revised, because 5th edition does not exist. So as I've already said, I am Law by Night, your storyteller for this Werewolf the Apocalypse campaign chronicle rage across New York, presenting on my screen on Discord. So we're doing this live on the Law by Night Discord server, so if you want to see this before it goes on YouTube and participate in some very blurst chit-chat shenanigans, join the Law by Night Discord server. So I'll just go through everybody that's presented on my screen, who may not be how it's presented on YouTube. We have Calliope, who's going to be playing a wonderful character by the name of Ezra. We have Fallen Syphilis, there we go, not Syphilis as I said earlier on, who's going to be playing Kenzie Sinclair, who is the youngest of our cast here, whose character is going to be 14 years old. Wowzers, that's definitely not going to cause any interesting moral shenanigans, I'm sure. And to the other side, we have Arsin, who's going to be playing Nadia Alentova. I cannot do pronunciations because unfortunately I'm English and my language is a real hodgepodge of things, so cope. We of course have myself, and beneath all of that is finally Bread, who is going to be playing Dolly Donahue. Again, pronunciations is a fun little thing, and we're going to find out all about the different Werewolf tribes, their auspices and their breed as we're going along, because this session is going to be the first change, because these four individuals do not know, well, most of them do not know who and what they are, and they're going to have their lives turned upside down, inside out, in the most traumatic way possible, because unfortunately, or fortunately, they have me as their storyteller. I might have mentioned that already. So if you're listening along, try and guess to see what clans and tribes they are before I reveal on the screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, or it's announced on Discord, that is. But yeah, hopefully this should be a lot of fun, fun shenanigans. The characters are going to get traumatized, but hopefully not the players. We've just had a very brief session today, a bit of a chit-chat about what is and is not okay at the table, and if anything does arise, we will sort it all out, so things might be a bit choppy in the editing department because of that. Also, if there are like any long gaps or anything, I will just chop all those out as and when appropriate. But going back to the safety tools and consent shenanigans, it's really important that everybody feels happy around the table, and my table specifically. A line from a horror author friend of mine by the name of Steffi Devan, who's written many a World of Darkness books. A lot of them have been 20th Anniversary Edition stuff. Horror without consent is trauma, and I do not want to be traumatizing my players. So if anything bad or untoward happens, or they just feel iffy for one reason or another, we're going to pause the action, we'll talk about it, and then we'll come back once everything's resolved, depending on how they want it to be resolved, whether they want to talk about it, skip past it, rewind the hands, because as I'm part vampire, I do have access to Temporis, and I can do that sort of thing. And as I said, anything before, during, and after the game, anything bad, we're going to make sure everyone is all happy, hunky-dory, and we're going to have a fun time being, well, silly little werewolves that definitely are not going to have any issues whatsoever as they're forming a pack and dealing with whatever life the universe in New York throws at them. That goes to you as well, the players. No, sorry, it goes to you, the audience, participants, people, viewers, things. If for whatever reason you feel uncomfortable and this doesn't sound like your cup of tea, take a break, go on a walk, or just stop watching at all. And I'm not trying to be like aggressive or deflective with that, because your mental health is important to me too. So if you're not vibing with any of this, it's not going to be too much of a worry to me if you want to go and do something else or take a break, because I want you to have a fun time with the stuff that I do. And hopefully you'll come back some other time and watch something else that I've put out. Now, I'm only going to say this once, because if you decide to watch partway through a series, there's not much I can do to help you with that. So, I've said it now, so hopefully we can continue to have a fun little experience with Werewolf the Apocalypse Revised Edition. So, if my players are sitting digitally and physically comfortably, we'll begin in Oklahoma. I know I just said that this is a New York game, but we're not actually going to be starting in the Big Apple. We're going to be carrying on, if my geography's right, somewhere up north and somewhere, in a very warm... We'll play the banjo, maybe a little fiddle, have the big old piss filter as the camera moves down to a big farmyard in the middle of fucking nowhere, as a certain character and their family tries to get on by, and one person here feels particularly disenfranchised with it, or who dreams big, the big old Western Hollywood dream, as it were, that life on the farm isn't for them. Isn't that right, Dolly?
Mm-hmm. Just a FYI, Oklahoma is directly north of Texas for geographical stuff.
I appreciate
But
it.
yes. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of this farmland ranch lifestyle. I think I'm gonna just head out. I don't want to be, I don't want to be left behind. Not left behind. I don't want to be stuck in one place. I want to expand my horizons, get a higher education, meet new people.
So, your boots are grown too good for they have grown too big for this good old farm. I'm sure your
Mhm.
family have taken that really well, I'm sure. Or am I mistaken,
Oh
in fact?
yeah. My uncle, of course, loved the idea, like unironically loved the idea, but my parents, they have shown their enthusiasm in pretty unique ways, aka not at all.
Yes. Lots of fun. Family drama right off from the get-go. What could possibly go wrong? So, what would a typical day for you on this farm look like?
Oh, it starts pretty early. I do have quite a lot of chores to get done. The animals need to get fed, stalls need to be mucked, poop needs to be scraped. There's all kinds of different things that need to be done, really. I'm just doing a lot of cleaning. I'm doing a lot of brushing of the animals. I'm harvesting any milk from the cows.
So,
Picking out eggs from the chicken coop. Just basically taking care of the animals and making sure everything's clean.
yeah, I imagine that's going to be a pretty frustrating thing for you, especially with your clear intellectual drive, your ambition, but family and traditions insist that you stay behind. I think it's fair to say that recently you've been a bit more on the particularly frustrated because you, as you said, you want to get out there, you want to go and explore. You've got a life ahead of you, and just I don't know. There just some. There just seems to be something in the air that's just wanting to drive you forward, wanting, as you say, to finally let yourself loose out there into the world as you're going around doing different farm life stuff, picking up eggs, cleaning animals, milking cows. You do notice there's like a shift in the air today. Like there's something different with the livestock around you. The chickens are usually quite skittish around people anyway. Perhaps a bit more accustomed to you and everyone else and your family because they're used to you. But they're sort of giving you a bit of a wide berth. You go into the chicken coop and they start clucking and going off a bit louder. They like try and divert their way away from you. You go and milk the cows and just checking on the bits of the machinery and whatnot, because I imagine that yours being quite the large farm, you're not going to be doing everything by hand, like just plugging them in the little suction machine things. I'm obviously not a farm, I don't know what any of this is called. Cows mooing and braying and just like there's a bit more of a resistance, for them to get near you, and it sort of gets to a point where it's rather cacophonous in this little farm, to the point that your father Travis has to come out and just like knock on the door. It's like, darling, what the bloody hell you think you're doing with all the livestock here?
I don't fucking know. They're the ones acting weird. I'm just doing my usual fare.
Don't you talk with me in that fucking tongue, lady. There, Betty.
You're
He
the one
goes
that
around
fucking
stroking.
taught me this tone.
There, Betty, shush, calm down. He's like giving you the dirty fucking side eye all the way through this. Just, he's clearly resentful of you, knowing you're too good for such a small little farm. Probably something he's thrown right back at you. It's just, why don't you just go and pick up the bloody eggs? I'll do all this. This is clearly too much for you today. And he mumbles something under his breath.
Good morning to you too, Chucklefuck. I just say this under my breath as I walk out.
Alright, cool. Because I'm feeling a bit spiteful, I'm going to see if he heard that. It's your lucky day with everything that's going on there, with the noise of the brain, the machinery and whatnot. Doesn't seem to notice, or if he does, totally doesn't make any comment about it. Mum's going about, just handing stuff, washing on the line, just looking tired. Everything's sort of catching up on her. Often caught in the middle of you and your father's arguments. Whatever siblings that you have running around. Do you have any siblings? Or have I just made a bold assumption on that part?
Oh no, I am an only child.
Wow. Extra tired mum then, it is then. Lacey just
Yep.
handing stuff up on the line, just own home little world, almost glassed out, greyed eyes, just going through the motions, as I said, caught in the middle of everything. Do you see anything to her as you walk on by?
Morning, Mama.
Morning, darling. See, you and your father are definitely not arguing again. Just, can you just go
Nope.
one day without causing up a fuss round here?
In my defense, I didn't even fucking start it.
Don't use that tone with me, landlady. I know that you're getting big and want to explore the old city life, but just not needed. Jesus taught you better.
It's like a barely contained eye roll that she wants to do so bad. I don't know, Mama. The animals are acting all funny today.
Well, it must have been something that you done, because they don't act like that with me, and they certainly don't like that with your pa. She gives you a very... only a look that a mother who wants to save the world to you, but just knows it's not a good idea.
Mama, just because I want to head out doesn't mean I'm going to mistreat the animals, okay? I don't know what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
Name one time I've hurt an animal in front of you.
None that I can think of.
I'm gonna go get the eggs. I'm just gonna trudge on.
You try and be good now, sweetie. I know you're finding it hard these days.
And I'm just gonna keep going.
Absolutely fair. You're going through, and again, chickens are going off on one. One of them sort of leaps up in the air, as it all they're squashed together in their little pen. Probably rather, within the realms of farm animal confinement, you've got quite a spacious place with this little chicken pen. So one jumps up in the air trying to get away from everyone. It's sort of a bit awkward, you just stepping over them like cats trying to weave and run around you. It's very difficult trying to not step on anyone. Yeah, this is very strange behaviour that these chickens are going on today, and with the cows.
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh at a gif that just got posted. Yeah, I'm going to gingerly step around them as best as I can, grabbing a basket and starting to harvest all the eggs. And my family's ranch is like one of those people that we're those kind of people where we collect all of our extra eggs and we put them out in the front in like a little egg box for people to come drive by and buy as many as they want, leaving some cash in a little box. So we have an overabundance of them, and I'm just collecting as much as I can find. And nestling some broody hens out of the way as I go.
How are you feeling about the animals just playing up and not in their control, and they're intentionally getting you into some trouble?
No, I think the animals were one of the small comforts I had on the farm, and now that they're all acting up, I'm feeling a little bit more down than usual. Oh, they don't like me right now. What's wrong?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, it's just one of the many ways that God's given you an unpleasant backhand at the moment. To that end, can I have you roll for me 5d10 at a difficulty of 8?
RP10 difficulty 8. Let me see what I can do. One success.
Okay, that wasn't the number I was envisioning, unfortunately. That downness, that upset, very quickly becomes frustration, and there's just something that just causes you just to snap and just to shout and just fucking move, or something to that effect, and it causes all the chickens just to part ways as if it's Moses parting the ocean. Very unlike you, and it's sort of that weird shock of like, what the fuck was that? And of course, the way that you just practically bark like one of the dogs of the chickens. Your mother comes up again. What in the good devil's name is all going on here? What did you do?
Nothing.
Well, the chickens are here acting like they're Satan possessed. Give me that basket.
She just takes it from my hand, and I'm just kind of sitting there almost a little shell-shocked.
Of course, your mother doesn't pay any mind to this. She rolls her eyes. It's probably her that you got the pained eye roll from. It's like she starts muttering away that she has to do everything round of herself, caught in the middle between this and that, always acting like the spoiled child, yada yada yada. It's the same sort of shit that you've heard before. But you're used to this. You used to turning that shouting and the frustration into white noise. But let's talk about that feeling just now. This shell shock that you're feeling. It's kind of strong emotion.
I've never yelled at the animals before, actually, so I'm wondering where the fuck that came from.
Yeah, that is something, unfortunately. How long do you sit in there for?
A couple of minutes. I have a lot of other work to do, so I'll do my best to shake it off. Maybe toiling through my chores will kind of get me to calm down.
Yeah, it's definitely the worker lifestyle. Just put it on a shelf somewhere, let it gain cobwebs, and take it out to look at eventually, maybe. So you get yourself out there thinking about the next thing that you need to do, but as you're walking towards your house, I imagine being quite a quaint little thing, you hear the rumbling of a 4x4 or Jeep in the distance. You turn, you recognise that car. That belongs to your uncle.
I almost swell a little bit with relief as someone that finally understands me unapologetically is showing up, you know?
Describe Nathaniel, your uncle. What does he look like?
This is a man that has clearly been working in the sun for several years. He's got the classic farmer's tan, a little bit of like a ruddy nose and like tanned cheeks, freckles, wrinkles for days, and he's got about shoulder length brown hair that's pulled back into a small ponytail, some peppered gray in there, and he's got like these just very kind looking brown eyes and just a very fatherly smile. And he's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going. He didn't shave that morning, and he's just dressed in typical rancher gear. He's got like a decent cotton shirt on. He's got dirty blue jeans, half chaps, the cowboy boots, cowboy hat. And he's also got some aviators on that he pulls off right when he pulls up.
Yeah, and he definitely would, because he sees his favourite little doll walking up to him, all smile and beams and sunshine. There's definitely, like, the fatherly figure is definitely coming through a bit, and you see, like, the back of the Jeep, there's, like, these big rolls of hay, just supplies to the animals and other crops. Like, well, aren't you the best thing that I've seen all morning? He says, hopping out of the car, and he, like, opens his arms wide to embrace you with a big fatherly, like, hug.
Oh, yeah, I am hugging him back just as enthusiastically, and I think a little sob actually escapes me after a moment.
Being so close to you, he probably picks up on those minute changes in body language, or perhaps a little sniff by his ear, or a little, the body shudder as you try and hold back the tears, and he pulls away. Are you pretending that you're not crying, or are you prepared to let him see the way that you are?
Oh, no, I am very much an immature young teenager who is trying to hold back her tears.
Okay. In that case, could I have you roll for me? I'll allow either a charisma, an expression, actually a charisma and subterfuge, or a charisma and performance, whichever one of those two you think would be more appropriate here.
Um, Probably performance, but if I'm being honest, I have dots in neither, so it's the same roll either way.
Okay, so you say it would be performance, would be the angle that you're leaning into. So in that case, we're going to up the difficulty by 1. So I'm going to say this is a difficulty 8. Just leaning into like the teenager who isn't all that well versed in hiding their emotions. So 7's going to become 8.
All right. I got 2 successes there.
2 successes. Okay, so not enough, I would see, for him to see that you're crying, but he like picks up a disturbance in the force, and you just go, "Everything all right?"
Just rough morning. I'll be fine.
You sure? And he puts his hand on both your shoulders, and you can talk to me with anything at all, right? Whether it's stuff that's happened at school or anything awkwardly and hushed to like only like body stuff, any changes that you might be going through, or
That seems to kind of clear away any upset for a second. She goes, "Ew, no, no, uh,
sorry,
I don't know. The animals are acting weird around me today.
why are they acting weird? You usually get on like peas in a pod.
I don't know. They're scared of me for some reason today. They're avoiding me like the plague, acting up.
Huh. He pulls a face as if he's thinking about something. Like maybe it's just something to do with the weather, or maybe they're picking up all the, I don't know, the fights have been going on here lately, or something. They're very sensitive here.
I don't know." And then, of course, the rent's thinking I'm just doing it on purpose.
He rolls his eyes a little bit. Of course they are. Finding every excuse to push you away, when all you want to do is just live out your life.
Yeah, they just assume, that just because I want to go explore my horizons doesn't mean I want to mistreat anybody here.
Yeah, that ain't right. That ain't right one bit. He sort of looks at the ground a little bit, shaking his head, putting a similar sort of thinking face, and he looks at him. How about you and I go out on a little drive tonight? Pack a few things. Give yourself, everyone here a bit of a break. Just you and me, just like old time's sake. And he gives you a little fist bump on the shoulder, as if you're like one of the bros or something.
It's probably the one thing that would cheer me up in the moment, and I'll just finally relent and start smiling and go, "Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I'm
Cool.
in."
Well,
I
sorry.
just said I'm in.
Oh, okay. Cool. You can even bring your bike as well. We're going on a bit of a drive together. Kick up some dirt. Let the wind run through our hair. Yeah?
Oh, we're taking the bikes?
Yeah, why not? We'll take the Jeep as well, just in case something happens. We don't be completely stranded out here. Yeah,
All right.
like old time's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you get on what you're going to do. I won't mention anything for your path for the time being because I don't want to start something else, but just go and grab some things that you want to wear. We'll probably be out there for a little bit.
All right. Considering that you're the one that helps feed the animals, he can't be too cross at you.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll find something, but yeah. Well, we'll keep this on the low for the time being. And he gives a very exaggerated, let's keep this a secret sort of wink.
Yeah, I'll bump his shoulder and then head back to go finish up my chores.
And as you walk over, he gives you like a pat on the shoulder and he begins to unpack the various bits of hay and whatnot from the back of his Jeep. And we're going to accelerate the time forward a little bit now to that evening where the weather's gone a complete U-turn to what it was. Wherever it was baking sunshine, we're going to remove that glorious piss filter that I established earlier on and replace it with a heavy thunderstorm. Lightning cracking, your mum, forever the worry pot that she is worried that something's going to get struck down by lightning, and just how unusual this storm is. It's just everything is unusual for her at the moment, and you're in your room, packing away clothes and whatnot. What is it that you're going to be taking with you? I don't want to assume everything for you. Don't want to tell a girl what she's going to be wearing and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm packing some extra jeans, extra shirts, extra everything, socks, extra pair of boots, one more set of road leathers, and I have my own road leathers put on, and a bandana, like a red bandana that's around my neck, so I can cover my face to prevent the bugs getting in.
Mm.
And my motorcycle helmet is sitting on my bed as I pack everything up.
Oh, so just general clothes and things. You gonna take any valuables with you? Things like good keepsakes, like Lucky Charms or anything?
I do have a locket that was given to me by my parents that is not dangling around my neck. It's in my suitcase.
Hmm.
It's made of silver.
Interesting. Silver's meant to be lucky in some cultures, and you feel that you're going to need it at the moment, especially as you're perhaps reminiscing over this or that. Once again, you hear arguing from downstairs. Two loud male voices, all muffled. Your uncle and your father are at it again, but even for your father, it seems a bit hot-tempered.
Yeah, I'll pause a little bit and debate whether I should head downstairs and try to mediate. But then I'm thinking about what how sour he was this morning, and I'm deciding to stay out of it for now and finish up packing.
Yeah, you're probably used to this whole song and dance between it all. Just going through the motions, just that is until you hear a loud gunshot and a bullet comes through your bedroom floor.
That will startle the fuck out of me, and I'm immediately heading downstairs in a hurry. Like my boots are slamming on the stairs as I head down, and I'm coming through like, what in the actual fuck is going on down here?
The scene that you walk into, not quite taking it all in at first, like the little, not so much banisters and stuff. I imagine that this house has got like the walls, the foundations of the house. You sort of running down. You turn, you see like the upper torso and whatnot as you're beginning to go down their level. You see that your father is holding the shotgun that's usually reserved for shooting away wolves and coyotes and the like away from the livestock, pointing it in the direction of your uncle. Your mum is somewhere in the back, just like screams like, "Put that bloody thing away! You want to get somebody killed? I'm not having him take her away from me. No fucking way."
Dad, put the goddamn gun down.
Don't you fucking tell me what to do. Get back up your room. He's pointing the gun at you, trying to coerce you back upstairs.
Go ahead and fucking shoot me then, you fucking coward.
He pulls a
It'll be the same
face.
effect either way. I'll be gone.
Your uncle, bravely or stupidly, just steps in front and just pushes the gun away. I'm not taking her away.
We're
Travis,
just going.
for
We're just
Christ's
going on a
sake,
quick
just
trip. We'll be back. Just I need to get out of here for a bit and calm down. You guys are driving
you
me fucking insane.
just we'll talk about this later. Okay? Just calm down. You've clearly had a bit much to drink. Just not taking her away. Just you
Oh,
can
the
tell
drink.
you're sorry, what was that?
God. The drink part would actually make me a bit angry because I've been trying to convince him to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, he's found comfort at the bottom of many a can and bottle as of late. And you can see that your dad, poor old Travis, you can see a bit more in his face. He's not really with it. Not enough to be totally plastered, but angry, perhaps a bit of sadness, a lot of confusion. Um, but your mum comes up and like gets him to lower the gun a bit more. Say, just come in and just sit down and watch a bit of Fox News. You know that always makes you feel better, sweetie. He just starts mumbling under his breath. You see his lips move about. He's probably got this big mustache or whatever. You don't. He's pretty much incoherent. Your uncle looks over at you, looks back at your dad, and just slowly coercing you to come out with him before he changes his mind.
Yeah, I'm looking around for that booze bottle.
Your dad dropped it on the floor some time ago by the looks of things because there's this bottle on the floor with like its contents just like spewing out everywhere.
I'm gonna go scoop it up and pour the rest of it down the drain.
So that's a very good thing for you to do. Are you gonna leave the bolt inside the house, or are you gonna take it with you so he doesn't get any other ideas with it?
I'm taking it with me.
Hmm. Can I have you roll for me um, those 5d10s again, please? This time it's going to be
Same
a difficult...
difficulty?
difficulty 7 this time.
Alright. That'll be 2 successes again. Would have been 3, but I rolled a 1.
That's unfortunate because ones, of course, remove successes in Revised Edition as well. Um, with everything that's gone on and just all that anger that's just bubbling inside of you, there is a brief moment where you just, again, just want to scream and shout and just want to throw that bottle somewhere, preferably at his head. You feel you could hit it through the window. It is open, despite everything that's going on, the storm and everything, for some weird reason. But you're able to contain yourself because you know, as a person, that would just aggravate things more. So what do you do with that bottle?
I am going to take it outside and put it next to the doorway outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's probably like a little recycling bin there.
Yeah, I imagine there would be, given everything that you've described so far. And you hurry along with your uncle, and just like with your bag and whatnot, and just bikes all ready, all piled up neatly, as you've seen many times before. You hop in, and your uncle starts talking away, but you're not really taking on board anything that he's saying because you are just consumed by what's just happened. And on top of everything that's led to this point, you wanting to go and live and have a life outside of this farm, and just how things have escalated, and how it people that you really care about could have died just now. That you could be dead right about now.
Yeah, it's actually kind of shaking me up a little bit. Like, Dad's never gotten to the point where he just grabs his gun and starts waving it like that.
Yeah, must be very frightening.
So I'm probably just sitting in the car quietly looking out the window while my uncle talks, and I'm not even really taking anything in.
No, just looking out into the storm, the rain that just brushes past the vehicle, and the lights that are like shining this like bright beacon in front of you, almost like you're sitting through like some cheesy hyperspace galaxy jump sort of thing, all just flying past with you. There's a crack of lightning that happens somewhere in the distance. Doesn't strike anything and fire anything, it's just there. Again, you're used to the sort of thing. And you must fall asleep or something, because you start to feel weird, things begin to black out. But then things turn a crimson. You hear these noises. Crunching. Munching. Something wet. Something sloppy. Something warm. Slimy. Rustic? And your vision, perhaps not your senses come too, but you're sitting in a pool of what remains of your uncle.
Yeah. Am I outside?
Yeah, you're in the rain. You look around for where the jeep is, where the bikes are, and you've turned into a ditch. It's all been squashed where the engine and whatnot is. Although, weirdly still, the entire roof of the jeep's missing. Because the light is just barely working, you can see like the overcast, the shadow. It's like someone has like torn open the top like a old tin, or like a very old like crank sort of a tin opener sort of thing. One of the bikes has been absolutely totaled, but there's nothing regular about this crash and the aftermath.
I'm going to immediately examine myself, see if I'm injured.
Well, You do notice that bits of your elbow is knitting itself back together. You know, and as you're noticing, you actually feel it, hear it crack and popping and pushing itself back into place. Perhaps you move to look at something else and you realise that your shoulder's dislocated. It pops itself back into place. You've probably had to do this on more than one occasion to yourself of an injury, but the fact that it is all doing it by itself with very little input from you is concerning. And as I've said already, you're beginning to take in more of the vision that your arm is coated in viscera. There's a bit of bone that just like falls off of your hand, and there's, look a bit further down at the mess that you're currently sat or kneeled or standing in. Most of your uncle's face is missing. You don't know where half the lower jaw's gone, but bits of him seem to be twitching as the brain isn't quite recognising that he is dead.
It's very, very slowly dawning on me, but as it's starting to hit me what just happened, tears start leaking out of my face, and there's sobs that are threatening to escape my throat, and I'll scramble a bit backwards and just kind of take the whole scene in for a moment.
Yeah, it does not get any easier. Both visually and... Sorry.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, it does not get any easier just taking it all in. Maybe if you understand it a bit more, maybe it's a bit easier to understand. No, there's just more of your uncle that's missing. You're kind of certain now that some of those wounds are bite marks. More bones are missing, more viscerating. Sobs become cries, cries become screams, and the earth itself is not letting you hear it yourself as the rain picks up in volume, the thunder picks up in volume. It's as if the world is denying you this one bit of solace of mourning.
I'm feeling around my face to see if, like, is that possibly, like, what happened, you know?
How else would his teeth and bones end up around your face?
I'm desperately trying to pull it all off of me. Just anything that's on me, I'm pulling it off.
Yeah, it doesn't ever feel like it's going. You can feel and see that your skin's feeling a bit smoother, but it's just that bit of slime from bodily matter and blood. You feel it's a bit smoother with some of the teeth and bone shards going away, but you still think there's something there. Maybe there's bits that you're going to have to take forever to wash out in a shower or something. Your clothes are torn, oddly enough. You're sort of standing there all bed frail like a damsel in distress on Skull Island in the 50s or 30s or whenever King Kong came out. It's very... The more you look, the more you observe, the more confusing it gets, the more unnatural it all feels that you did this.
Yeah, a wave of grief mixed with nausea just comes over me, and honestly, I might have to roll not to throw up, not gonna lie.
Alright, let's roll willpower. Given everything that's going on, I'm going to make this a nice difficulty 8 for you.
Hey. Grabbing my dice. That's gonna be one whole success.
There's quite a lot of retching involved. A little bit comes up, but it's not like full-on puking at the moment. You're just able to contain yourself at the moment.
I'm gonna scramble just to figure out what happened, but also I'm finally just starting to like panic, like, oh no, what's going on? And then the screaming starts. But after a moment, sense kind of comes back to me, and I'm like, yes, screaming's not going to help very much. I'm gonna scramble over to the Jeep and get all our bags out, and you know, I don't want anything with viscera on me. Like, I'm just taking it all off. I'm gonna change it to something that's in my bag.
Yeah, the bags themselves are pretty wet because they went in the back of the feet, and obviously that's been exposed to the elements outside. And obviously, as you're changing the clothes, they're going to start getting wet, but they're clean. At least cleaner than the shredbare, blooded, gutted sort of affair that you've got going on at the moment. You look less like a deranged, cannibalistic serial killer.
Yeah, just doing my best to clean myself up, and I'm just kind of like pausing for a second, and I'm debating on if I should call somebody or I just don't know what to do. I'm too overwhelmed.
Hmm. I mean, what can you do in a situation like this?
I think once I've calmed down enough to kind of gather myself, I'll head back over to him and pull him out of the pool of blood at least, just kind of get him somewhere better situated. And I think the
So,
whole time just muttering under my breath, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
the crying picks up a little bit again when you realise that what you're carrying of him is the upper part of his torso. You don't know where the legs have gone.
Yeah, just I'm not gonna get too into it because I'm bad at describing this, but at this point, once she's kind of got him situated, she just falls to her knees and breaks down sobbing, completely inconsolable,
Yeah.
as it finally hits her just how bad this is, what happened.
Yeah. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like a good 13 out of you're fucked.
Hmm. And it takes some time for the crying to die back down, and I realize I've got to get out of here.
Yeah. No time like the present, huh?
Yeah, I'll you said one of the bikes was still recoverable, right?
Yeah. Amazingly.
I'm gonna look for any keepsakes that are still on my uncle's body.
Well, what remains of his wallet has some pictures tucked away, some cash. One of the pictures is a younger version of him holding you as a baby, standing next to your father. One of the last times you remember seeing him smiling.
I'm gonna take the picture in the cash and put it in my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look around for his phone as well if I can find it.
Don't seem to find his phone. At least not
Okay.
immediately. You find what you think might have been a phone, but the screen is like, I'm gonna say cracked, but it's a bit more than cracked.
Can I find my phone?
Yeah, that's bent in two.
Oh shit. I hope I know this area well enough to get out of here at least.
Hmm. Yeah, you seem to go out of
Also,
this all right, all things considered.
yeah, unfortunately. I am going to also just first off, how much cash should I get out of the wallet?
About $50.
Okay, I'm gonna put that as a note on my sheet. All right, $50 cash. Okay. I'm going to just my face is probably still filthy, so I'm just gonna lean forward and kiss his forehead and say, I'm sorry one more time.
Hmm.
And I'll get up, grab my bag, get the good motorcycle, and throw on my helmet and drive off. Preferably away from the ranch because who knows how my parents will react if they find out this happened.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but I think they'll be less than
Really
pleased.
bad. Yeah, really bad.
And where does life take you? Well, coincidentally, we're going to transport over to the Big Apple, where what was once quiet and maybe a little bit of animal noise here and there is filled with a whole cacophony of culture, civilization, noise. The residents are quite used to the fragrance of piss in the air. It's loud, it's noisy. You've been to cities before, but there's something different about this place. Now, it doesn't resonate as strongly as you once thought it was going to be. Where is it you find yourself, and what sort of things have you done for work, to keep your head afloat?
Um, I'd say probably found myself a cheap little shoebox apartment in Manhattan somewhere.
Hmm.
It's over the top of it's like a small brick building that's been around for a long time. There's a Mexican restaurant on the bottom floor. I live on one of the upper floors, and there's just enough room on the ground floor for me to able to securely lock up my motorcycle.
Yeah.
Landlady made sure of that.
Yeah.
For work, I've just been doing a lot of odd jobs, lots of hard labor,
Hmm.
factory work, maybe some construction here and there. Just stuff I already know how to do from working on the ranch so long.
Yeah. Do what you know
Maybe
best, I
occasionally
guess.
some dog walking.
Yeah. Very difficult though. Dogs don't seem to like you very much. Then again, you seem to be
Yeah.
find that people don't seem to like you very much.
Yeah, a little bit more
Maybe
than
it's
usual.
yeah, maybe it's a whole classist thing. You very clearly got that countryside twang. People are very judgmental where you are, especially in affluent Manhattan. You're coming back from a hard day's shift, very man occupied job. You're quite used to slurs to sexism both towards you, surrounding you, passers by in the street. No one tends to say anything about it. You probably stand up to them more than one occasion, which only ever seems to egg them on. Nobody ever really seems to do much about it. A lot of the time, people are nice about it, but it just gets fucking tiring after some time. And you just see the same faces day in, day out, and probably a bit monotonous. It's not quite what you envisioned out of life. But one day, one hot, humid day when things seem to be a bit iffy, you have those moments similar to that day with your uncle. You're heading home, packing away, and you notice that a woman is staring at you with a sly smile.
I'm uncomfortable as a free action. I'll probably glare back for a moment, but then move on. Just keep heading back where I'm going.
She follows after you, and she makes no effort to hide that she's following you.
Hmm. I'll let it go on for a few blocks, but if she's still following me by the time I get a little bit closer to home, I'll pivot, turn heel, and go, "Why the fuck are you following me?"
Her smile stops. You have a bit of a closer look at her face now. Someone in her mid 30s, possibly early 40s. She's wearing a veil, headscarf sort of thing, mostly wearing black. Your reaction, as I said, gets her to stop smiling for a little bit, and she just looks back at you and just says, "Do I recognise you from somewhere?"
Probably not. I'm nobody. Why the fuck are you following me? Do you want some money? What do you want?
As you're saying that, she gets out her own wallet and shows you a picture. It's a younger version of herself. It looks a bit younger. Her skin is impeccable, very attractive, very clear skin. As I said, looks a bit younger, but that's your uncle standing next to her.
I'll pause for a moment. Where'd you get that picture?
It was taken by a friend of ours many, many moons ago. She says as she very gently puts the picture back in her wallet. We've met once. Not too long after you were born.
I'll kind of take a step back. What are you getting at?
There's something different
Who are
about
you?
you. My name is Salma. And I know that there's something different with you that makes us quite alike.
Yeah, there's like a roiling anxiety that's beginning to build up in me. And I'm looking around to see if there's anyone watching this whole scene.
You don't see anybody that's watching, people going by on their phones talking, maybe a content creator that's just filming like the local cuisine around them as they so often do, but no one is like intentionally looking at the two of you.
Who? What do you want, Selma?
I know this must be very difficult for you. Very strange. A strange woman in a strange land in strange times, speaking and acting strangely around you. I'm not going to say that I can help control what you're feeling, but I can say that if you're willing, help you understand.
I think that's probably enough to kind of put me a little bit more at ease. And I'll look around a little bit and go, alright, but we shouldn't talk here.
I think that's a good idea. Very wise. You definitely take after your uncle more than your father.
Help. I can't help but smile a little bit at that, even if it does look a little bit sad. And I'll kind of gesture with my head for her to follow me and keep heading towards my place.
And I think with that, we shall pan the camera, possibly the time, to somewhere else in the Big Apple. Somewhere that isn't so busy, somewhere that isn't so stressful, at least so openly. I want you to imagine, I know that the people here are going to be horror fans of some degree, or at the very least have seen one or two horror films, and I want you to cast your mind's eye to any horror film that was made in the 80s or 90s. Imagine the sort of streets that we are. Big open roads, nice little simple sidewalks, not using pavements, a little bit of green, bushes, trees, lovely 2, possibly 3-story houses everywhere. Everything seems very quiet and quintessentially good old American. That is how I'm envisioning Forest Hills, which isn't that far away from where we left off in Manhattan. And we're going to transport ourselves into a nice little house to a family of 2 whose upbringing and lifestyle is very different, but also faces its own basket of stresses. Isn't that right, Nadia?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Set the scene a little bit. What would be an average day for you?
I'd say a lot of time spent on the computer. New York can't really afford much, so I'm spending a lot of time just sitting at essentially the breakfast table. That has become essentially my office.
Mm.
At least when I'm not going to school.
Yeah, of course. Much to the detriment of your loving, loving mother. Constantly tired seems to be a theme with this sort of game. moving, doing dishes, constantly sighing, constantly rolling her eyes. Stress the fuck out is the quaint phrase that I'm going to do, and she just says to you, could you just get off that for 5 minutes? Help me out.
Just doing work. Gotta pay the bills. What you need, Mom?
Could you clean the dishes or something? Something useful, please? She says, carrying this big
Huh?
basket of laundry under her arm.
You got it. Just go to her.
Thank you. Going through the motions. The fun activity of doing the dishes. Frustratingly so, because there's no reason why she couldn't just take a moment to do it herself, and the pile of cutlery just piles up as well. It's just the little things. But you know that she has it rough. But doesn't make it any less frustrating for you to deal with, does it?
Stop. Sorry. It's not. Stop it. There. Sorry.
It's alright. So the task of doing dishes, the monotonous task, just seeing that the pile of cutlery has just once again been piling up, and yeah, it wouldn't have taken her too long just to stop what she was doing, or if she had done it properly the night previously, but you know that she has her own difficulties and her pains to be working through. Doesn't make it any less easier to be dealing with, does it?
I think while she's doing this, she's kind of going through the motion. She just pops some headphones in and starts playing music as she's going. That way she has something to have other than just her thoughts.
Being alone with one's thoughts is a dangerous thing. What sort of music do you listen to?
I think for her, this is kind of just very high energy. She's kind of just going for like kind of heavy metal sort of thing. Just rather than feeling, she is just going to have music that blasts everything else away, so there's nothing in that brain other than that.
Yeah.
At least that's the goal.
It's a good bit of therapy, that. But, of course, as life would have it, it's always finding some way to fuck you over in the smallest of ways. Because as it's getting to your favourite part of the song, maybe it's a chorus, maybe it's a complicated bridge section, you just feel that very irritating tap on your shoulder that your mum does. She can never text you, just to alert you. It has to be the physical contact all the time.
Takes out one earbud, turn it down. Yeah?
What have I told you about putting your music on with your earbud headphone things in the kitchen? It's not safe.
Be alright if I just keep one in? That good?
I always have to argue back with me. Yes, fine. Just saunters off, hissing to herself.
Do dishes angrily.
Time moves forward.
Faster.
Moving faster, moving forward, just before she changes her mind. We'll move forward a little bit to the afternoon. Say that was like the early morning sort of thing. In the afternoon, you have a bit more freedom to yourself. Your mum's feeling tired, forcing herself to stay up a bit too much in the morning, despite you saying that she was overdoing it. She's pushed herself a bit too hard, pushing the accelerator and the brakes at the same time. What does a typical afternoon look like for you? I'm presuming you're back on the computer.
I think that it's around this time where I take an excuse to get out of the house. I'm just gonna go. It's like I'm just gonna go get myself some coffee because I need it, and if I don't, I have to get a headache. And going to get something. If I found anything to help with Mom calm down, I'm gonna get some of that. Don't know if I figured anything out, but I've definitely been trying.
Yes, it seems to be a bit of an upward battle, and the upward hill is like that. What usually aids in calming her down in situations like this?
I think I've been trying, like, for a while, it was kind of it was a bunch of medications, anything I could get over the counter.
Hmm.
And then I started going to just getting something that just, because she doesn't like having to take medications that she doesn't really know what they are or know if they will help, and maybe it'll make her feel drowsy or make her feel nauseous. And I'm like, admittedly, it's sometimes hard to argue. So lately, I've just been kind of getting different. I've been looking for other sort of remedies, anything I can find. I think I've been going through a lot of tea shops lately.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No, it seems like one thing works one day, one thing works another day. Sometimes nothing seems to work at all. You said going to tea shops. Now, I know you probably meant more like on the drinking sort, but I'm thinking a little bit, ever so briefly, about tea as in what you wear. When you strut it about in your little calm, quiet neighbourhood, how is it you present yourself to the world?
She's. I guess what time of year is it? Would you say?
What time of the year it is? Well, I will say that is late spring, so like middle of Mayish.
Okay, it's actually starting to get warm. Um, I think she's going around in shorts. She has a hoodie on. She has a t-shirt on the front that she started getting a collection of t-shirts just with various symbols that she just kind of designed. She's tried to find something to use for her consulting. Nothing's worked yet, but now she just has like 10 different t-shirts with weird symbols on the front. Um, she does have glasses, and she's just kind of wearing them at the moment. Has her hoodie up, covering her face, because sometimes it starts to rain suddenly. And then it gets on her glasses, and she can't see shit, and then she gets upset, and there's that time she ran into the pole. Not again.
Hmm. So, a bit on the sensitive side of things, you could say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and she does have her backpack with her laptop in it, because she doesn't leave anywhere without that thing.
Absolutely not. It really doesn't seem to be your sort of day. Like, Mum seems to be a bit more demanding. You seem to be a bit more on edge with things. But as you step outside, you know, in your little safety bubble of attire, as it were, everything just seems different. Maybe it's because you're a bit more on edge. Maybe it's because you haven't been sleeping as well late or something like that. But everything around you just seems a bit brighter. The world seems a bit more noisy. There seems to be more of an energy sort of thing that's wanting to burst, sort of thing. Like, you just feel very hemmed in with everything, like noises that you could just usually blot out, even with the earphones. You're just aware of things happening. There's just this little, as I say, tension, this little constant vibration in the air, and it's like you're thinking it can't be to do with heat. It's not that hot. It's really irritating.
Yeah, I think she starts trying to compensate. So as she's going down the street, she pulls down the hood farther. Just watch the feet. Minimize that. That's not working. She starts turning up the music. Somehow still hear stuff, and just getting more and more agitated as time goes on. She starts tapping her leg with her hand as she goes, and it's very much just trying to get that energy out.
Yeah. And you go to your nearest drugstore, or wherever it is that you're acquiring said medicine, to drugs. And inside this building is even worse. Usually it's quite a quiet place because it's a little tiny little place, a little LED lights tucked away on the corner sort of thing, but it's even worse here. It's just you're aware of the hum of the building, of the lights a bit more, the little breeze that comes of anything that's called, I imagine there's something like aircon or whatever. It's just all just dancing and brushing against your skin, even though you're practically covered on top. You feel it on your legs, something is tickling up your arms, like the bugs or something that's crawling up you. It's everything about you is making you feel on edge. And then you get to the counter with this woman who's clearly been here far too long with zero fucks in the world. It's like, next.
Here you go.
Can I
She
help
goes
you?
around. Just, that's it. I just need just scan it, please. She pulls out like a debit card, puts it down, just like doesn't even wait for it to be ready, just kind of ready and shaking a little.
She sighs loudly, waddling over to get whatever it is that you ask of her to get. She's pissing you off. Like, there's no real reason for her to be this rude to you as well. Can I have you roll, please, 2d10 at difficulty 7?
That is one success.
Okay. We all have those thoughts sometimes of, like, to let our inner voice become our outer voice, knowing it's not a good idea. You want to snap at this person, like, to tell her off, you know, for taking whatever she's got going on in her life, because you've got so much going on, being practically the carer to your mum, often feeling unappreciated, yada yada yada. But you're able to know better in this moment. Just. This woman eventually comes back to you, waddling away. Just clearly, you're aware just the tightness of her uniform. It's clearly a size too small for her. You're pretty certain you're now beginning to hear the fabric of the clothes that stretch and tighten around as she turns around, just places it, just pokes these really loud, clunky buttons on her cash register. Do you want a receipt?
No.
Have a nice day.
See it? Now she's like, gosh, not quite jogging, but like, you know, like walking as fast as she can without running.
Yeah, it's a speed walking, having one foot on the ground at all times. That same tension is around, not as great as it was before with these buildings and whatnot around you, but it doesn't let up. That scarring feeling up your clothes is now moved from just your sleeves and up your body now, and it only just leaves as you walk through the barrier that divides your house to the rest of the world, and you've like practically slammed the door behind you. Of course, your mum tells you off for slamming the door because it's so many years old and they've just put new locks in, yada yada yada.
Sorry. Got you some meds.
Nadia, I've said that you don't need to do that. What I'm taking is working. You know she's lying. It is not working.
Maybe one day we'll find something that'll help even more.
Okay, fine. She moves and stretches about, then gives a little intake of a sharp hiss, like reaches for her lower calf. Sorry.
It's a bad day.
Yeah, just fibrotaser pain. I'm fine. I'll be fine in a moment.
Yeah. I think this is the point where I realize I never got my coffee, and I'm starting to feel like basically withdrawal. Just like, shit.
Yeah, it really isn't your day today, is it?
Do we got any of the instant coffee still, or we out?
Probably. I don't remember. Go and check.
Okay.
We're gonna play the fun game of odds and evens now. Odds or evens?
Oh no.
Odds.
Alrighty then. It's your lucky day. Well, it's not your luck. Well, you got a 9, so there's a bit of happiness in your day. You have the instant coffee of your preferred flavour. What is it?
I don't drink coffee myself, so I just think it's probably just honestly it's just plain black coffee.
It's fair enough.
She's there for the chemical effects, and that's it.
That is absolutely fine. You brew the coffee, you're looking out the window. That feeling you've been feeling for most of the day is still there, but it is less than. At least you don't feel like you've got like an army of insects crawling up and down you now. You just feel back to being on edge. I presume, because that does sound pretty unpleasant to be working through.
Yeah. I think she's like checking to see if she got any like bites or something. If like she's having sort of allergies. Just
as far as you can
weird.
see, it's very unusual. And as far as you can see, there's like nothing on your arms that would indicate that you've been bitten or anything, or like some new detergent that your mum's using or whatever. And she like sees around the corner or whatever. It's like, is everything all right?
I think I'm having an allergy or something. Ugh, my skin's crawling.
Don't tell me I have to change detergent. This is the cheapest stuff. We don't have the money to use that premium stuff that you love so much.
I don't think it's the detergent, because I was fine yesterday and the day before that.
Well, I've told you that allergies don't happen the first time. It's always the second or the third time, and it's the second time that you put on those clothes with that... I'll go and buy the newer stuff. And she gets up and saunters off into the living room.
Nadia feels guilty.
Yeah. You try so hard to be accommodating, and it's just 1 step forward, 20 backwards sort of thing, isn't it? Let's move forward to the evening, where your mum's probably gone to bed. Probably because it takes her forever to drop off. She likes to tell you how difficult it is for her to sleep these days. What are you doing?
I think she's looking around, she's answering emails, she's trying to get this consulting thing up and running. Not telling her mom that technically it's corporate espionage. It's just a no. And I think she just started getting frustrated, and she's like almost got up to like kind of go out and take a walk, then she stops at the door and she's gonna try something. And she just kind of opens up the door, puts her hand out to see if the feeling returns.
No, it doesn't intensify like it did earlier in the day, but you're still feeling a bit on edge. But it's not outside determined.
Okay. In that case, it's gonna go grab her phone. Is it dark out?
I say it's dusk, twilight sort of thing, yeah.
Alright, then I'm grabbing some pepper spray.
Alright. You go and spray away to your heart's content. You're just... Well, what's the technique here? Just a little bit here and there, or you just like...
I think I just step outside, I spray a little, nothing happens. Honestly, I'm just getting kind of paranoid. I'm beginning to think I'm sleep deprived. She's trying to think, like, did I drink anything? Did I ever leave my cup open for anybody? Someone drug me? And eventually decides, you know what? My brain's just wrong. And decides, like, stuffs the pepper spray in her pocket, walks out, and just be like, it's fine. It's fine. I've decided it's fine.
Good. I'm happy for you. How are you going to celebrate this?
I think she's gonna go for a walk. She's gonna look for get a donut. That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna go get a donut somewhere.
Okay. You're walking through the night, perhaps walking in the other direction. Maybe a little bit aware, is that feeling going to come back again? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm right? Blah, 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 blah. The feeling doesn't return as much. Again, feeling on edge, as I've said, but maybe that feeling of you feeling sleep deprived is worse because you feel that you're seeing things in the air. Like, when it's dark and, like, you see the little flecks or whatever, your eyes trying to adjust or whatever. It's kind of like that, but every single one of those is a different colour. You're able to see different colours in the sky. Just blinking, trying to work out what's going on a little bit. I mean, this is New York. There's light pollution everywhere. I should not be able to be seeing such wild colours, and it's not constant either. It's coming and going. It's like you've been hit on the head or something. It is, on the one hand, rather comforting, which is bizarre, which is making you worried, but it's also making you feel worried because you're not supposed to be seeing these weird concussion-like colours.
You just start some soft in your head, just be like, is there a pain somewhere? Is this a migraine? Just...
No, everything seems to feel fine physically and, well, I'm not sure mentally at this point, but
keeps cleaning your glasses.
yeah, it's definitely there, because even when you remove your glasses, it's still there. It's just a bit blurry now because you're now unable to see because you're wearing glasses. And all the way through this donut shop visit, like, it's just there, and you walk like into a like late hours sort of thing that's still open, that's just closing up for whatever, and you again begin to worry a little bit. Oh, the feeling got worse when I walked into a place like this. Is it going to happen again? If anything, you feel more comfortable here. The colours aren't as vibrant as they were, but there is the hum, the general buzz of noise that was there before is now bringing you a bit more comfort. Perhaps you've been a bit more accustomed to it in that sense, rather than enjoying it more. It's very weird feelings that are both comforting and concerning.
I think after she, like, gets her food, she's just kind of staring at it, like, am I high?
You're looking at this donut.
Is there a mirror in here?
There's just these wisps that are just revolving around it, like this donut has become like Saturn and its many rings, but rather than being little asteroids, they're little colourful wisps. Almost like gas, almost like the tail end of a fish. It's just, it comes and goes when you blink.
I think she kind of just starts after having such a weird day, it is pretty, and she's kind of just staring at it, being the weirdo in the shop, staring at her donut like it's a piece of art.
Mm-hmm. If the guy behind the counter is paying you no mind, he's probably seen one late teen, 20-year-old, whatever, with the munchies. He's just, snitches get stitches, you know, he's just going to let you just get on with it. So how long is it that you're going to be standing there absorbed with this donut?
I think it lasts about 15 seconds, and she kind of looks up to shit. It just starts walking to one of the tables that becomes very self-conscious suddenly, realizing so much of her just wants to ask, is anyone else seeing the colors? And the rest of her is going, do not ask that!
Too late.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people about, like, just people on their phones. There's a couple making out on a bench somewhere, like, just bits here and there. Just, like, nothing where they're taking notice of this potential weirdo obsessing over this donut. To that end, can I have you roll your stamina, please? Difficulty 8.
Oh, shit. Surprising nobody. Nada.
No successes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Well, you did say that you were feeling pretty tired, or potentially you were sleep deprived, and you're looking at this thing, you're like really struggling to stay awake, and you like think, no, it is not a good idea to pass out. Bang, you're asleep. Everything goes black. You know, there's that warm, colourful sensation of like, it's a long, hard day. You're snuggled away into your bed, but you're just sitting on a park bench with this colourful donut. Although, when you wake up, sorry for the screaming outside, it's not that bad just yet. It's not that comforting when you wake up when you realise that you're chained to the ground.
What?
You feel still with some form of metal chains round your wrists, your ankles, and your neck. You hear shouting, gunfire, swords? A helicopter? Your senses come to you and you must be high off your fucking rocker because the sight before you is perhaps the strangest thing that you have seen all day. And given everything that you have seen and done so far today, this is pretty unique. On one hand, you have the Knights Templars taking on the Nazis. On the other hand, you have French revolutionary soldiers taking on the Assassins. You have members of ICE taking on Vikings. There are people running about on horses. Some are driving around in tanks. There are World War One British planes going after helicopters. It's constant. It's like every possible bit of warfare battle that you've ever read about, ever heard about, ever seen about is happening all before you in the weirdest fucking LARP display imaginable. What do you do?
Fuck, I've lost it. That's it. This is okay. She kind of checks to see if like the chains are real, tries to pull away from them, just
Can I have you roll for me perception and investigation?
I'm good at that.
And I will allow you to employ your specialty here.
Oh, hell.
Your specialty in sorry, I misread, sorry. Actually, yeah, your perception investigation I feel would work well here, yep. So that means, for revised edition, your 10 will explode. Which means if you get a 10, you keep rolling, in case anyone's unfamiliar with the term.
What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say, with everything that's going on, the fact that you think that you're high, 7.
Cool. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, cool. With that, you're able to work out that, 1, they are very much real and they're grounded into this bit of rock that is the ground around you. And the second thing is you notice that bits of them are rusted, especially the ones that are keeping your wrists tied to the ground. The ones with your legs, not so much.
This is not gonna work. She can pull on it.
You start pulling on one of these, like, to try and get yourself the fuck out of this, but as you're doing this, it's almost like there's something around you watches and hears you because it's responding with a loud hunting haul of a cry. And it sends these shivers down your spine, and you're filled with absolute terror. Which, given everything else that's going on, it's very weird that that's the tipping point. And if it's not that, because I don't want to be too assuming, it might well be the large wolf on the horizon, red as blood, with something dripping from its face, slowly approaching you and looking you dead in the eye. What do you think is going to happen next?
Nadia is certain this is how she dies. This is it. She has lost her mind. And somehow, this is what kills her.
Are you
So
going...
she's like panicking, just trying, like wrenching at things, pulling as far away as she can.
Okie doke. Cool. So, we are going to have ourselves a bit of a contest here of sorts. We're going to do something that's known as an extended roll. You are going to roll for me your strength and, I will say, athletics or brawl. And you're going to keep rolling that until you get to a certain number. I'm not going to tell you what that number is. So yeah, you're going to keep a tally of those successes for me. And I'm also going to ask you to let me know if you get any 10s, as if they were involving a specialty. But I also need you to let me know if you get any botches.
Alright.
Cool. So, give me that strength and or athletics brawl roll for me, please.
So this is my pool.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh no. 6.
Okay, cool. That is one success. You feel a bit movement. The wolf, realizing that now this sacrifice of it is now wanting to move, it picks up the pace a little bit. Roll again for me. And as you're only rolling one dice, the one here will count as a botch.
7.
Okay, that is 2 successes, I believe, for you. Wolf clearly has the advantage in terms of movement here. That small step forward picks up a little bit in its pace. You can hear it growl, which is a bit concerning given how far away it is from you currently. You feel it in your chest more than anything else, like deep within your core. Roll again for me.
Okay. Uh-oh. So remember how you said tell you when I botch?
Yep.
I think someone starts panicking.
Okay. Can I ask, what was it you were pulling on that time round?
She was going for the rusted chains. So I think she grabbed that chain with both hands, if she can. I do not know if she can cross them over like that.
You can't, no.
Alright, then, yeah, I think she was just yanking on that arm again and again and again.
Left or right arm?
She's panicking? Right arm. Her predominant arm.
Yeah, it detects whatever is around these chains, detects the weakness and yanks back, and now you have now lost an arm. You feel the most agonizing pain you have ever... You might have broken a bone here or there, but I don't think you have ever really lost any limbs before. The blood that gushes from that results in a resounding cheer from some group around you. You can't tell because, again, all the different conflicts that are happening around you. All masculine. It's like... almost like a battle cry sort of thing. And this turns the wolf now to walk into a sprint. So, I would like you to roll again. But this time you're looking for difficulty 7.
That's a 10!
Awesome. What were you pulling on that time round?
Other arm. Stop was all she got. She's like...
That's fair enough. The chain breaks, and it whips out and just flies off into the whatever. You can't see the sky, you can't see the cloud, it's just grey ice, tundra sort of bollocks. But it does mean that your difficulty to do the next time round is reduced by 2. So you're doing this now at difficulty 5. You're just going to have to hope that the wolfie here is not going to do very well because it's gaining on you.
Yeah, hard to not be gained on when you can't move. Yeah. 7.
Cool. You begin pulling at your legs, so that's the only, well, the 2 of the chains that's left, or maybe the one around your neck. The cheering around you and the jeering gets louder, and the wolf is now pounding its way towards you, panting, about to cry, it's about to snap at you, tearing whatever's there. And you now see the hugeness of this wolf. It's fucking huge. You know that wolves are big. Like, you've probably done a bit of research here and there. You seem the sort of person that would know they can't get confused with dogs all that much. But this thing is like several wolves stacked on top of each other. You've played Dark Souls. I can imagine you're the sort of gal that would have played Dark Souls. This is like Sith levels huge, but with more bulk. And it's pounding its way towards you, and you're just thinking that, oh shit, I'm going to die now. There's a part of you that's like the natural urge of you being human, pulling, not wanting to die, conflicting against the other half of you, shit, I'm going to die, I might as well just fucking stop, and bang, everything turns a horrible shade of red and black. Shit, this is the end. I've probably now woken up in heaven, or in hell, or whatever, but that horrible feeling, that buzzy pins and needles like feeling again, comes back in full force. And you open your eyes. Your arm's back, and you're sitting in this field It's grass around you. You look before you, there's no more battles and planes and conflicts or whatever. There's tall glass skyscrapers like you back home, and there's this huge pond. Or is it a lake? Or is it the sea? You can't see where it ends, but you just know at some point there's a cut-off point and there are these massive skyscrapers, these huge monoliths that just seem to grow from nothingness. And somewhere in this mass of water is a figure doing Tai Chi.
First things first. Do I have any sign of what was going on before? Do I have rub burns on my wrists? I'm checking my body to see if I just had a psychotic episode or something, or somebody drugged me. Any sort of indication that that was a hallucination?
You're scanning yourself over, and it's like, well, as I said, this is probably the point where you realise that your arm's back. Like, it's not, like, it's definitely a real arm, it's flesh, you're pinching yourself, grapping it, whatever. It's there, there's nothing on you, there's no, like, rope burns or scars or anything, like, nothing taken from you. Everything about you seems to be in one piece, physically speaking.
I think she just says out loud, "Where the fuck am I?"
Nothing responds. Nothing answers. It's just your small voice just carried into the bit of wind around you. Other than the individual doing Tai Chi in the middle of this water, there's nobody else here.
Do I have my clothes or any of my stuff?
Yeah, you've got your backpack, you've got your clothes, nothing's torn, nothing's ripped, it's just as you were.
I think... How deep is the water, do I think?
Well, you'll have to go up there and have a little look at it. Is that something that you're prepared to do?
Yeah. I'm just not going to regret this at all.
Well, you go up to it and you sort of like peer over, and it's pretty difficult to see how deep it is because all you can see beneath the water's surface are a load of white mice.
She was thinking of taking off her shoes. She is no longer thinking of taking off her shoes.
No, not a good idea. Just all these different white mice all looking the same, just like all piling and morphing all over the top of each other, crawling over the top of each other, like there is a lack of space, like they can't quite get out of whatever this is. The thing is, you can't hear them if they're making any noise, because, mice are pretty noisy little fuckers. But there's no noise, there's no disturbance, anything, it's just this.
I'm not going in that water. I think she just decides to just... How far away is this person? Because she's just going to yell for them.
I'm terrible with distances, but they're definitely within hearing distance if you yelled at them.
Cool. Okay, I don't want to sound crazy, but do you see the mice in the water? You're standing in that!
The individual who's like practicing this sort of like Tai Chi sort of thing stops partway through their ritual, or whatever it is that they're doing. They turn one of their hands so their palm is facing towards you, and this little wooden rod just pops up at the water. They catch it, and then they turn to you, and the weird... Well, on top of everything else, this individual who looks at you looks like a goat, but they've got 3 fucking eyes and one of them's on their forehead.
Fucking...
And it's with that, and it's with all of that, you then wake up to the sight of your mother and a police officer next to her. How long have you been here? What are you doing? Your mum yells at you.
Probably, like, do I have my phone on me? Because honestly, I think she's kind of in a panic, like, just so freaking confused.
You're confused. I'm confused. You nip out and you've been gone like hours. Officer, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. Not a problem at all, ma'am. Just don't buy from their edibles. He sort of laughs, trying to like shrug this whole thing off like it's nothing. He pats you on the shoulder, sort of thing. He sort of like saunters off. You have a look at the time on your phone. You haven't even been out here for all that long. It's again your mum just over worrying, like she woke up and you're not in the house. Typical.
Thanks for checking.
Why didn't you answer your phone?
I don't. I thought just thinking back. She didn't even eat the donut. Just didn't get that far. Just trying to figure out why didn't I answer my phone. Just
Yeah, you're seeing through all these text messages, just like your mum getting more distressed, like asking you to like a really simple chain, like make sure the doors are locked, like respond, where are you? Oh, there's a missed call there. There's another text from your friend Sylvie who just says, hey, why, just being playful. Just the guilt begins to set in as you've missed so much more. And you look up, just really unsure what to say about any of this. But the final bit of weird that happens towards you on this night, one of the park benches is snapped in two. Like the whole thing just gone. That was not like that when you sat down.
Mom, I think someone drugged me.
Yeah, no shit. And then she just slaps your hand to get the donut. And the policeman told you not to eat from there.
I didn't. I didn't get that far.
I have so much going on. I don't need to be worrying about you like this.
I know.
Nadia, you are 21 years old. Life's supposed to be getting easier for me, not harder.
I really don't know. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
As you're doing this, she sort of paces a little bit, her rubbing she rubs like the lower part of her back, and then she notices clearly the park bench, and she stops and looks at it for a moment. She turns back and looks at you, and there's just a moment for thinking, no way she's gonna fucking blame. It's like, this place is clearly dangerous. People doing stuff like this. Come on. We're going to go home. We're going to get some sleep. Clearly there's something in the air that's making you act all funny. You've been weird all day. How about we just spend the day together just trying not to be weird?
I'll do my absolute best. Yeah. Home sounds good. Home sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
Good. Don't stray too far. I don't have to like hold your hand to make sure that you're not going to run away or anything, right?
No. Staying with you. Bye. Honestly, freaked me out. This really freaked me out.
You're freaked out. Fucking believable. So, we're going to move forward to the next day, where you're going to, with your mum, for something nice to wear. Probably taking your laptop with you as well, because, you can't go anywhere without that. A location that you've been to many times with your mare. Central Park, which isn't too far away from where you live. There are other parks around you, but That's like the special spot with you. And you're wandering around, talking this, that, and the other. You could spend a whole day there and you could still have stuff to see. And you sit by the turtle pond. You've been there so many times before. Mum's clearly paying, like... You're telling her to, like, take it easy. You remind her to try and take a walking stick with you. She wasn't going to have any of it because she doesn't want to look like some cripple in front of everyone else. It's a constant back and forth, and you're having food that you know that's not going to cause any wild acid trip. And you're staring out, and you realise something, and you think, no, that can't quite be right. That's a weird coincidence. There is a weird similarity between that last vision that you saw and Turtle Pond. The big stretch of water, the soft decline in the hill, much more green. You can see some skyscrapers into the distance. That is the rest of Manhattan. There's no one doing Tai Chi, though, in the middle, though. That's something.
No Tai Chi goats. Good.
Hmm. Your mum nudges you. Says, "You're right. You." It's not like some after effect of the weed donuts or anything.
You ever have a dream and then later see some of what was in the dream in real life, and it's like this weird deja vu moment?
Used to when I was younger. Now all the dreams that I have involve you getting hurt. She does this awkward laugh as it was a comedic thing, when it clearly was not meant to be comedic at all.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, not you. Yeah. Sorry for making you worry.
Well, you're clearly working too hard with whatever it is that you're doing. You should set a timer for yourself. At 9 o'clock I will stop using the computer or social media or whatever it is that you're doing these days. What is it that you do? So you don't tell me anything that you do anymore. Is everything so secretive with you? Do you not trust me?
No, Mom, I trust you. I really trust you. I started getting some odd jobs, and they're just kind of really focused on the computer stuff, kind of complicated. I just didn't think you'd want to hear about it.
I always want to hear what you're doing. I may not understand it because it's all like gobbledygook to me, but I'm interested in what you do. And she's about to say something else, but then this music starts playing behind you, and she goes to turn, and presuming you turn with her, it's like some sort of street performer thing, playing the most stereotypical Chinese-sounding chopstick sort of music with this very skinny Chinese man with a little, I forget the name of the hat, like the little straw thing sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
dancing around like these robes and whatnot. He's clearly selling this, that, and the other. Clearly, there's a tourist thing for the whiteys there. It's like, oh, look how cultured New York is, sort of thing. You don't think much of it at first until you realise that the stick he's holding is exactly the same sort of stick that the guy from your dream was holding. You recognise.
I think she's like mid New York, right? And then throws the stick. It just goes quiet.
Your mum's watching the performance with you, probably having different things. She's probably just really enjoying the performance, like, oh, this is what it's like in China, being a bit of China. New York, when it very clearly isn't. You're cultured enough to know that it isn't. This is clearly like a very cheap markety thing. And again, he's doing like these sort of like dance things on the spot. Like, oh, that's very similar. He's got like this sort of fringe covering his forehead sort of thing. It's like, no, that can't be right. He can't be covering like a fucking eye there or something. Like, this is all too weird. Right? And then he finishes doing his little routine. And it's like, There's some people that give it like some polite little golf clap sort of thing. Your mum does it as well, off time with everybody else. And then she nudges you. Go and give him some money.
Sure. I think she kind of starts digging through her purse. She's like, oh, fuck, change. She kind of starts walking over, mumbling out, like, who brings cash anywhere? Just...
You go and approach this man. He's much smaller than you are, very skinny. Most of the size has been covered up by these kimono-styled robes. I know it's Japan, but not that most people would know the difference anyway. He's giving this borderline racist smile at you. It's like, thank you all very much. You're so kind. And he leans in towards you. Thank you, Nadia.
I think she just kind of takes the money that she can do. I think that her hand just goes limp, drops it on the ground. And it's like, how the fuck do you know my name?
The spirits told me. But you would know all about that, won't you? Now, your mum notices that you dropped all the money and she starts waddling over towards you. Well, limping, I'd say. It's like, sir, I am so sorry. She's really having a rough day. She bends over, hisses again, picking up all the coins. It's no problem at all. Carries on and that sort of thing that I feel so fucking dirty doing, but there you go. Looks up at you with a little wink. Hands the money towards you. It's like, come on, Nadia, let's go back to having our lunch. Like, no. The man interrupts, like, didn't mean to be rude. She was just asking me some questions about our culture. I'll send her back to you when she's done, please. She gives you a, like, check you out sort of thing, and like she takes a few steps back. Not that she can hear you, but like just to make sure you don't run off or something. The man doesn't do anything to interfere. He understands that this is the best that's going to happen now.
I think she just keeps looking back at him, just a little bit of desperation. Like, wait, she knows what? Somebody knows something. Just
as you stand there all flustered, he sort of like holds on to his like staff thing with both hands, leaning into it a bit more, probably for dramatic emphasis. You didn't tell her, did you?
about the... Which part?
Which part? That would be a no then. You didn't mention that... Oh, the spirits were not too kind to me then. And... Not that you would see, but I'm describing it for the scene. Your mother hears the word spirits and takes a step forward and just like... I'm sorry. Did I hear that correctly? Spirits? You a fortune teller? It's like... In a sense, yes. But that's not what I was referring to. Oh, this is going to be a little bit awkward. I presumed that you knew. Knew what?
What she said.
Oh. And he rubs his chin as if he's got a beard there for form. He has no beard there. He's clean shaven. He looks around. People have gone past. You know, there's a little looker because of his whole ensemble. Okay. You're a werewolf, he says clearly. What you experienced last night was your first change. And at that instant, your mum grabs you by the ankle, your wrist, and begins to try and drag you away. Like, no, I'm not having this conversation here. So you do know.
What the fuck? Mom, what the fuck is he talking about?
She goes to say, I don't know, but stops herself at halfway through the word don't. The man walks up between the two of you. I see that you two have a lot to discuss, so I'm just going to get to the quick and short of it. And he, like, pokes you on the shoulder with his staff. You have been chosen to participate in an ancient war to protect the Earth. I know this is a lot, but this is really not the place to have this sort of conversation, especially with this sort of reaction now. So I'll let you sort out your little beef, and then you can come back and see to me, and then we can talk about the rest some other time. And he waddles back again, puts on a little CD player boombox thing, and he begins to do another orientally charged dance. Your mum, however, has turned a very interesting shade of white.
Why aren't you calling that guy nuts?
Because they're all nuts. Shit! She points at the necklace that's round your neck. That was supposed to help! Can't believe it got fucking conned! She starts crying, wiping her face and tears away.
I think she just takes the necklace, looks at it. Supposed to Mom? What the?
It's silver. Nadia.
Yeah! Because you told me that I'm allergic to nickel.
That was a lie. I mean, knowing how sensitive your skin is, you probably are allergic to nickel, but no, that's...
I think she actually does laugh at that.
Fuck, I never wanted to have this conversation. It was supposed to work. Oh, fuck. She's sounding a bit like you now, which is a bit worrying from last night. Okay.
Should we leave? Should we leave?
No. It's too late now, they know. They'll just come after you. Just like they came after your dad.
What? I'm sorry. What? What? Dad left.
Yeah. To fight in some war. War for Gaia, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, he was a piece of shit. Yeah, he treated me and you like... shit. But he's also... one of them. Not that, and she gestures towards the guy who's still dancing around with another chopstick-style tune.
Yeah, that's weird. That's That's like... not into the caricature. Not sure what the... Okay, yeah.
Dedrick's a
Okay.
piece of shit, but he's one of them. Nasty man. And I thought maybe it's because that's what he makes him out to be. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for him because what he did was inexcusable.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And I thought that I found an ad on Facebook. Some the reviews were really good.
Mom! At least use eBay! Etsy! Something! Where did you...
What's Etsy?
You got this off of... You don't know what... Oh, fuck. Okay, I've been a bad daughter.
No, you're not.
You bought this off of Facebook. Okay.
I didn't buy that off Facebook. I found the woman who makes them off of Facebook. Met her. She had a lovely little house. It smelled of frankincense. It all seemed very legit, and I thought it wouldn't happen because everything's so... because you didn't seem like him. And then you disappear, you act weird all day, that park bench was probably you. Oh my god.
Okay. Let's say that is what happened. How the hell would I be able to break a park bench in New York without people noticing?
You got lucky? I don't know. Maybe it was something else. Oh, maybe it was a vampire, because if werewolves exist, vampires are probably real. New York's probably ruled by them, for all I know. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing about this. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want this to happen to you. I don't want to lose
consolation, you. I agree. Mom, you're not... No. I don't care what they fucking say. You're not losing me.
The man begins to walk over in a very over-the-top, I am an old man sort of shuffle. And he looks towards the two of you. I see the two of you have made progress. He looks at you, Nadia. It is time to say goodbye. Or farewell. He tries to comfort the mum with a very poorly sighted pat on the arm. Because, see, it's not like we're taking her away. Think of it like your, summer camps. Yes. The mum just looks absolutely bewildered by that sort of response. Like, what fucking planet is this guy on?
I'm sorry. You wanna
It's not a matter of me wanting to, it's a matter that it needs to be done. Because if you do not know about any of this, all it's going to take is one little slip up and you're just going to hurt somebody really badly, let's say.
She just kind of stops, thinks of the park bench. Okay, shit.
I understand that this is a lot.
This better not be a fucking prank you're playing with my mom.
Oh no. This is no laughing matter. I'm not very good with practical jokes. Born under the wrong moon sign for that.
What?
You'll find out. It was a crescent moon last night. Anyway, we really need to hurry this up. I have places to go, people to see, and we need to have a good old conversation. Come. And he begins to shuffle away.
She kind of takes like one step, stops, going back and forth, it's just kind of freezing. She doesn't know what to do. This is...
Honey, I will be fine, your mum says. But you better fucking come visit every Sunday.
Fuck. I'll try to come more often than that. I don't have any clothes. I can figure out what this is. Just... Oh, gosh. Shit. Okay, Mom, there's a program called Signal. I need you to download it. I need you to get that, and we're going to use that, because apparently we need secure communication. And I'll teach you how to use it, alright? Just get it on your phone or your computer.
Okay, sweetie, I will... And then the man calls back, Come on, Pond Skater is waiting for you.
Sure, that's how the fucking... Okay. I think she just kind of leans in, hugs her, and just whispers, I'll be back before Sunday. And just runs off.
As you run off after the old man, the camera is going to fly upwards. Different day, different bat time. And we're just going to move at like a 1 o'clock-ish direction for about an hour. As we move away from the city centre, we move away from the bustling traffic, Central Park, the nightlife, the drugs, the crimes, the weirdos that occupy its infamous subways. And we're going to head up northish to a woodland. Nature. Something hard to find, because something that I think is often overlooked in media in the world of depictions of New York, that it's not just that city in Times Square and Central Park, the Bronx, Brooklyn, etc. and so forth. It's a big ass place with lots of nature around different boroughs, different cities, and New York City is just one of those. And as I began to describe, we're moving further up north to a big old I can't say the word. Conservation Park. Thank you. Specifically, the Wolf Conservation Park of New York. But so far we have focused on 2 humans who have turned into a werewolf. Both of which don't really know what they look like. I wonder if the same can be said for the third of our cast, who, on this normal busy day, well, busy for the humans that occupy the place, bringing in tourists and people with cameras, kids, family, whatever. They're 2 guides, leading everybody through this park. These still fences. A Cooper and a Natalie. Giving a good old tour guide about what we know about wolves, how certain myths are not true, how there isn't really an alpha, how the Omega isn't the run, and it's sort of the one they use to exert more playful behaviour. And Cooper's the one that's doing all the chatting away. Really energetic, like Nat's just keeping an eye on everyone around. Okay, and hopefully in a moment it's feeding time, so we should be able to see some of our latest wolves here. We've got a pack of 4... There, and he points off into the distance. See, they know what time is. They may not wear watches, but they've got a very good time for when they're hungry. We have Cooper. We've got Brock there. We've got Trevor there. There's a little minxy little one over there. And where it is... And then points over there, just a little off the pat from everyone else. Ezra. What's Ezra currently thinking?
Food.
Fair. Simple. Food. Glorious food. Meat. You understand the intention behind that word. You know it's time for you to be fed this big rib or whatever. I don't think it really matters, because meat is meat. You're used to this song and dance by now. And then Nat, who you've always had a bit of a soft spot for, she's extra nice to you. Cooper is too, but you know, there's something special between you and Nat there, and they sort of like lob the food over, they're like oohs and ahs, and people take pictures, and Nat points to like this smaller human, not as hairy as some of the other people here. So please don't have the flash on your phone, it can spook some of the wolves. Not always, but we don't want to make sure that everybody gets... We don't want to make sure that anyone gets hurt, you know, and they carry on speaking. And this pack of wolves, your siblings, the rest of your pack, they recognise the order of things. They know that you're the, to pardon the pun, the top dog. So you get the first share. Any other thoughts and feelings? Go ahead. I was just going to ask if there was anything that goes around your head.
I definitely feast a little bit to my heart's content. Lapping up all the meat, I assume it's just kind of like whatever they put in front of me. Although after a moment, I kind of noticed my siblings and just kind of like... Unusual for a wolf to kind of exhibit some... almost like empathy, like here, come have someone starts to like nudge it towards the rest.
And then your Cooper and Nat notice this as well, and they make a point mentioning that it's uncommon, but not totally unknown for wolves to display this, and they sort of again hammer on the point that the concept of the alpha wolf, not being like the big, you know, making comparisons to certain incel culture without saying it explicitly. And that carries on, because the thing that makes a good alpha or leader is having the emotional intelligence to meet the needs of everybody else in your pack. And Ezra here knows that ultimately sharing is caring. And you pick up some noises from the back of this group of humans, like it's sort of noise. Like, you don't quite know what that is, but you know that it's a generally a happy feeling. But that doesn't quite meet what you're seeing Cooper and Nat, who have obviously hear this. These humans are weird. Nothing really seems to make a lot of sense with these individuals. But you seem to be a bit more aware of what's going on. Can I have you roll for me Perception and Primal Urge?
Yes. So...
Standard difficulty of 6, please.
Okay. So that is going to be 5 dice for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Difficulty 6, you said?
Yep.
2 successes.
2 successes. So, you know, looking at the crowd a bit more. Now, anybody else in the crowd thinking, oh, the wolf's just looking at everybody else. They're all, you know, getting their phones out and taking little pictures or whatever. Not that you, the wolf, would know that. They've got like these little flat, bricky sort of things. These flat rocks, whatever you want to describe it as. But, you know, focusing more on like the noises that they're making. You're sort of picking up that these 4, 5 younger looking humans at the back aren't to be trusted. There is a threat. There is something about it you can't quite pinpoint, but you pick up that laughter isn't friendly.
My ears perk up and my tail tenses just a little bit.
Okay. Nat then interjects, you know, as the wolves are finishing up feeding. I think we can just move on a little bit. We've got much to see and much to talk about, usual Torah sort of stuff. She says something to Cooper, like to head everybody off into the run at the queue. She was going to take over the back, ushering these 4, 5, you now see it's 5 of these smaller humans, smiling again. There isn't much. It's not a friendly smile. It's like a wolf baring its teeth to issue a threat or a challenge. Can I have you roll for me 5d10?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Difficulty?
6.
That would be 4 successes.
Okay.
Oh,
There is a little twitch at the back of your head. For just a moment. Because Nat's coming a bit close and you acknowledge her as part of your pack. To go and rush them. You know, to bark and snap. But there is something about you that just resists. For just a moment. Which is strange. Because you're now understanding the concept of this, of strangeness. Where you hadn't felt that before. But you're still very much keeping an eye on these 5 kids who clearly have not worked out what's going on, that you are not vibing with this at all. And Nat ushers the kids along and looks at you. It's okay, Ezra, she says in a hushed tone, just like poking with like the little stick with that you would do with a feed with food, just like making it a bit of a distraction, just to show that she's clearly doing her job. It's okay. It's okay. As she leads everybody at the back along, what do you do?
I relax my posture a little bit, and kind of follow towards where the stick was gesturing, and I kind of start to go about my usual routine of just kind of patrolling and prowling the conservation, at least the area I have available to me.
It's a fairly large area. It's a fairly large park from the little bit of research that I was able to get from it. So you have quite a lot of access to the place. Do you stray too far from this group, Nat and Cooper?
Initially, I stay a bit close just to keep a little bit of an eye on those seemingly suspicious characters in the group. But once they move far enough away, I kind of forget that they exist and actually return to a specific spot within the little enclosure.
It doesn't take too long for them to lose interest. Probably because they know that there's the Nats behind them. Nat's very good at protecting everybody. Like, they're just another leading one pack away from another sort of thing. And where's this spot that you take yourself to?
I go to the farthest edge of the area, like close enough that I can like see the fence that kind of separates this little reserve from the rest of the world. And there's a particular spot underneath the fence that I've been digging at.
As in to try and escape?
Yeah, not. I don't think Ezra particularly conceives of it as escape, and more just more space to explore and look around.
Interesting. So there's
It doesn't quite register that it is trapped or enclosed. It just kind of sees it as more like, oh, there's more here than I thought there was.
So it's a curiosity.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. So the day moves on. Won't spend too much time around these group of humans. As you said, you've lost interest and now you've gone back to doing what is it you do best, keeping an eye on your siblings, exerting yourself as the alpha as and when necessary. You know, just wolf things. And the sun begins to set as the concept of time is sort of meaningless to you. You're walking through, you know, going through to your rest. And you see Nat and Cooper with the same group of humans again. And you know that there is... Sometimes they sleep here. They bring like these little big stone shell sort of things that they all climb into. They never come into obviously the same bit of the enclosure with you, but there's an element where there's like a little bridge where you can walk over it and they can see you and you can see them. All these different shell things that they get into are different colours. Some of them are big, some of them are small. You can hear and see all the different chatter beneath, and you see those 5 again. It reminds you a little bit of your pack in the sense that there's clearly some energy that they're wanting to expel, but you're not liking it. Whereas with your energy and pack, it's like there is a reason for everything, a bit of play. This seems a bit off.
If ever they look at me, they'll notice that my gaze is fixed straight on them, like nose just pointing right towards whoever I assume to be kind of the parent of that group, even if they're not the literal parent.
Yeah.
If possible, can I try to intimidate them?
You absolutely may. How will you go about intimidating them?
To be fair, there's not many tools available to a wolf as far as intimidation goes, so just a little
sure.
snarl.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to snarl, you're going to howl, snap, bare teeth. Like, what's the method of approach
Just
here?
a low growl. Not particularly obvious or, like, showy, just kind of... just a small simmering rage.
Interesting word choice. Can I have for you manipulation and intimidation?
Okay.
this will be a standard difficulty. I can't see any reason why this would be any easier or more difficult for you.
Yep. Okay, so that's going to be just 3 dice I'm rolling. 2 successes.
I'd say that's enough for just for one of them to catch your attention, or the other way around rather. Just a little rumbling ground that they could hear, probably because you're like directly above them, sort of thing. And this taller, skinnier one, Killy's not having enough to fed. Even though he's taller, he's not getting enough food. It's a bit of a weird mishmash in your head. He looks up. This sort of like weird grin that he had previously isn't there, although you can see that he's got this like misaligned teeth. And because the one boy looks up, the others look up, and it's soon a few more people look up, and it's like, oh, the wolf, and you get that little flat stone things again taking pictures. There's a bit more of a murmur. You're not quite picking up the tone, but it's very clear that the pack and the adult of this pack get the memo that they are not liked. They're not welcome here.
Once I gather that they get the message, I kind of relax my countenance and kind of go back to kind of playing is a bit too light of the word, but interacting with my siblings.
I would want to ask what's on the agenda, but as you kind of mentioned before, there isn't really much that would... Wolf is not even going to be playing poker or anything. Just the release of the tension of the energy. Again, playful, exerting the energy, just making sure that everything's all hunky-dory, as it were, for lack of a better phrase. It gets darker. You all feel the need to sleep. Where in the conservation park do you go to sleep? Like, what sort of spot do you have where you go and sleep?
Traditionally, I sleep with the rest of the pack. We kind of like sleep nestled close to one another.
Yeah.
That's usually the best way to conserve warmth. Although, as of late, I've been kind of, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've been striking out on my own, and oftentimes without noticing, I'll just fall asleep right next to the spot I've been digging at. And I'll probably end up doing the same thing tonight.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Okay. As I said earlier on, the concept of time isn't really a thing for Wolf. Sunrise, sunsets, it's just cycle, food, eat, sleep, repeat. Can I have you roll for me once more Perception and Primal Urge?
Yeah. And you can't see my dice rolls, but I will just establish this for the audience that I have a merit called Charmed Existence. So earlier when I rolled the 4 successes for the Primal Urge roll, I rolled a 1. Normally that would disqualify one of my successes. But as a benefit of the merit, that makes it so any one, I can treat it as if I had an extra success. So basically, I'm not able to botch.
Well, providing if you've got only one, if you've got multiple ones.
Of course. So just so you are aware for any future rolls, in case that might come up. Now, as for the amount of successes I got... Okay. 3 successes.
Okay. You are very much aware that somebody is climbing the wall thing where you all sleep. You look up, and it's one of those humans again. And because of the 3 successes, you've actually noticed that a couple of them are actually in the thing with you, just slowly creeping away towards where the rest of your pack is. They've got more of those flat stone things, and they're attached to, like, sticks. You're not happy with this at all.
I see if I can approach without making myself known.
Might be pretty difficult because one of them is currently climbing the fence. Well, they're coming down the fence to your side. So,
Mm.
how about we make a little contest out of this to make this a little bit spicy? Can I have for you a Dex and Stealth roll, and I will roll some dice on behalf of the little shit.
Okay. So, since I am in wolf form, my dexterity is a little higher than average, so. Okay. It's going to be 7 dice I'm rolling. Okay. Difficulty 6?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be 3 successes.
Okay. The boy climbing over, not that you would distinguish gender at all. They're all boys. I can't remember if I mentioned that. He got 2 successes. So I will allow you to do one thing before he will notice that the wolf that was there has moved.
I'm going to attempt to get within range of my pack.
You can definitely do that, like perhaps going past them, which I'm imagining is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that, and the other two are just far focused on just walking in that straight line, like looking around. They're dark, they can't really see where they're going. They're talking to themselves. You're not really understanding the words that they're saying, or at least understanding the meaning behind it, but you see like these flat rock things, it's like a light shining through on one side. They're talking something about a TikTok. They're like talking to it, like there's something that's... It's a weird thing that these humans are getting up to, and like they keep moving it around and showing the word, showing it off or whatever. You do understand the meaning of the word dangerous. Again, the vibes of these boys, it's not making you feel good, it's actually making you feel pretty pissed off. And it's probably at some point as you're getting a bit closer that, as I imagine that these boys are like walking in one way, you're going around the other way. As you're about to head them off, the one that was climbing the fence like, oh shit, look out. And they turn and realise that your snout is poking out of the bit of foliage, and they're pointing their little flat things on a stick towards you. And of course, in this particular context, something on a stick means harm. Clearly they're here to hurt you and your pack. Oh shit, Ted, what should we do? Oh fucking no, it wasn't supposed to move, Ryan. Harry, what the fuck are you doing? Just get it away somehow.
Would it be possible to try to intimidate them again?
How would you like to go about intimidating them?
Something stirs within Ezra, and I don't think they even know it consciously. But I'm going to roll my ancestors' backgrounds.
Interesting. What's the intention here?
The intention here, in this case, it's more of an instinctual thing as opposed to like something they're doing like purposely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the intent I'm going for here is to try and recall any memories or dreams or visions or experiences of warning and showing off, and otherwise making it clear to intruders or outsiders that they're not welcome here.
Okay. That's, I would have lost money on this sort of approach. Okay. I'm right on the seat of my pants with this one, I have to be honest. Sure, roll me the ancestors.
Okay, so I believe the way this works is that, hold on, I do have the note up here in case this does come up.
Mm-hmm.
So, way it works is that I'm going to roll against a difficulty of 8. Unless I'm rolling for a specific ancestor, in which case it's 9. I'm not rolling for a specific ancestor, so it's just going to be 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 dots in the ancestor background,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be rolling 3 dice. And whatever amount of successes I gain, I can put into whatever skill I'm trying to achieve here. In this case, it's going to be intimidation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll 3 dice. Difficulty is 8. I got 1 success.
Okay. Which translates into 1 dot in intimidation.
Yep. So for the purposes here, and so yeah, in this case here, my intimidation pool with manipulation, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
In this case, my
Sorry.
yeah. Go ahead.
How is it that you're trying to intimidate them?
I kind of almost perch. Like, not to the extent that I'm like on like only like 2 limbs, but like mimicking it as close as I can in my frame.
Hmm.
And tail kind of like almost like writhing back and forth in like a snake-ish manner. And this time actively like almost growling in a way that's like I'm trying to speak, even though I'm not capable of it.
Okay.
If it were translatable to human words, it would be, "Get the fuck out of here now."
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll my intimidation pool if that's okay.
Knock yourself out.
With the extra die from ancestors. And that is going to be manipulation plus dictation, so 4 dice. And what is the difficulty here?
I will say 5 because the kids are already pretty scared. They weren't expecting a wolf to be here. In complete stupid kiddish logic.
Okay. So let me go ahead and roll here. So 2 successes.
Okay. You perch yourself, giving it very clear signals to these kids that fuck off and get out, or whatever it was that you actually said. Growling, baring your teeth, asserting yourself. These kids aren't really moving anywhere, and I haven't forgotten the ancestors bit just yet. They're not getting it. You do not want to hurt them. Within the grand scheme of things, you are giving them time. You're giving them, because it's not in the nature for wolves just to lunge in and kill something. As with any animal, there's going to be some degree of warning before, okay, you're going to get hurt, you're going to die now and be food or whatever. And almost like a shining light, because you're aware of that big white. Sometimes it shines with white, sometimes it shines with orange. Not that you know the difference of that. Your perception and understanding of said perceptions are different. They're not moving, they're not backing off. Perhaps in the heat of the moment with their sticks and flat things in their hands, something within you interprets that they're just aiming to strike you, whatever. And you roar. And you growl. It would cause most things to quiver in their wake. You feel bones snap and twist as you move and bulk up. Fangs extend. Something goes splat. Something goes whack. And a voice. Soft. Gentle. Sad. Things that you hadn't had any real understanding of until now. That simply says, no. Not like this. Never like this. Until you have to. You come through and you just hear the familiar voice of Natalie. Again, with that weird stick with a light thing that comes on that you've seen her use before. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh fuck. Cooper. Shit. Where's... I saw the other three, they're over there. Where's Ezra? And you see that there's this light right on you. You're sort of sat, splayed, sitting awkwardly in a body that isn't quite yours, but you know that it is yours. What would Ezra look like in her human form?
They'd be a little on the tall side, probably like 6'1", 6'2", very like broad and wide frame, dark, kind of like a light chocolate hue of skin, kind of like black hair with kind of like streaks of gray falling around their head in a mop, kind of like about like this length. Appears pretty masculine, as far as like regular physical features go. And light brown eyes just kind of peering out. Not literally so, but very wide and large.
Unlike the previous pool of blood and guts and gores and body parts that I described earlier on, I feel there would be a part of you that isn't so fazed by this. You're more so fazed that you look more different because you've killed before. You might be a bit more concerned because you're now feeding the concept of guilt. Understand the concept of guilt. You recognise more the emotional intent behind Natalie's panicking and Cooper's facial expressions. You're sort of looking up at them, just like confused, lost, and just like Natalie's looking at you again with this stick with a light. Of course you are. She moves the torch around more, looking at everything else. Shit. What are we gonna do? How the fuck are we gonna explain? How the fuck? I don't know. Shit. How do they even get over here? I don't... Fucking kids, they've been shits all day. It was a bear. That's it, it was a bear. Nah, come on. There are bears round here. It was a bear. They knew better. This is going to get us shut down. Not when you're fucking panicking like that. And Nat just, like, practically skids down onto her knees and, like, holds you by her arms. And there's a sensation of touch is different as well. There are times where you have allowed her to touch you, know, not you're a dog or anything, but you're part dog, you understand the concept of play and the affection and whatnot, but this is different. Like, the sensation of touch is different. You may even just recoil a little bit just because how different it feels. Like, sorry, Ezra, we need to go. Are you able to walk? Wait, what? You're taking us? We cannot leave her here. You know the drill. What was going to happen if one of these changed? Cooper sighs. Looks moody as ever. What's going through your head all this time with all this conversation, Ezra?
Where are the kids?
Sort of scattered about all over the place.
Can I see any of their faces?
You can see the bit of one of their faces that's right in front of you. The other half is sort of like being dented into a tree.
Whichever is closest to me, I almost, just out of muscle memory, instead of walking, I just kind of like I try to crawl towards it. Considering my current Tomid form, that might look a little silly.
Mm-hmm.
But once I get close enough, I just kind of nudge it a little bit with my head. I don't quite recognize that like you're supposed to touch things with your hand and not your face
Mm-hmm.
here. Just I kind of almost expecting to like get back up and start moving again, even though it has nothing to get back up and move with.
Yeah. Not that I imagine you would take much notice of this, but Natalie's obviously watching you do this. Cooper watches doing it. They're giving each other looks like Natalie starts crying.
I turn back around and I kind of go back towards Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of rest against her if she lets me.
She does. A bit surprised, just because of everything that's happened. You're obviously in a very messy state. And if you let her, she'll like put an arm around you to hug you.
I let her.
This feels different when she's touched you before, petted you. A warmth. Not a physical warmthness per se, but in your stomach. You feel a little drop of water on the top of your head. But you look around and realise it's not raining.
I look up.
You see that she's weakly smiling at you. More of that wet stuff is coming out of her eyes. I know this is going to be very confusing to you, but you can't stay here anymore. Cooper sort of like leans.
I open my mouth almost. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Cooper just leans forward a little bit and just whispers to her, which you can barely hear. You notice that your hearing's a little different now. It's like, you think she understands, and she just slaps him away. Just let me have this moment. Oh, fucking hell.
I open my mouth almost as if to like whimper or squeal or just kind of like vocally express myself as I usually would. And then just kind of be a bit taken aback when like what comes from my lips isn't my voice. It's something else.
Yeah. What comes out? Sorry, what comes out?
Without knowing the meaning of it, I've never even said anything to this extent before, but I just say like family.
Cooper is standing there with his eyes wide, like kind of like that gif of that guy who just blinks and just looks at shocked at everything, but obviously a bit more frightened. Natalie is just like, her face and smile is just wobbling, moving about. More of this wet stuff is coming from her face. Like, oh my god. Okay. Yes. Family. And she begins to stand up, like, we're gonna walk a bit. You're probably feeling cold too. I have a spare change of clothes, so you don't look so funny. She's trying to work out how to communicate with you, like talking to a baby who speaks a different language, because obviously clearly understands a little bit of what's going on, but hasn't dealt with this before. Can I have you roll for me your stamina?
Yes.
Difficulty 7, please.
That would be no successes.
Yeah, you stand on your new pair of legs and you immediately fall down because the balance is all off. And Nat, quick on her feet or her arms, like just like catches you underneath your other front leg in the pit, and like, okay, we'll go really slow. I'll move forward the plot a little bit. Odds and evens.
Evens this time.
Even Stevens rolled a 6. Cool. It takes a while, you know, as you are, in human terms, got jelly legs. But you get there a little bit. It feels strange. She walks you to the metal thing that rolls around and makes the gravel, the stones make noises. She helps you get dressed in these weird fabrics, similar to what the other humans have. Nothing fancy, just short jeans, which we can obviously change at a later point, but it's serviceable. You've seen her like changing clothes because sometimes things get a little dirty for her. The humans are very precious about mud and whatnot. Helps you into the back of this thing. It's soft, it's warm. She leans across and puts this thing strap around you, just sort of like looking around, just taking things in. It's a bit unusual, but you're sort of going through it because she's being gentle, whatnot. She shuts the door. Cooper says something, but it's all muffled. You can't quite hear something. He's getting more frustrated with all of this, and Natalie's like just deflecting it away. And they get in the front, and she begins to move with you in it, and not familiar with this experience, like, you're moving, but your feet aren't moving. And you begin to roll along. Different thoughts and smells and textures and feels are coming towards you. How odd it all is, and looking around and all these weird things that are popping out the ground like trees with no branches. There are lots of lights about.
Is the window open?
No. There is, however, a bit of air that's coming through like these little slots, like about where your knees would be, that you can feel mostly on your left knee.
I almost, not quite recognizing what it is, I try to like poke my head through and just kind of like slightly like punks against the glass. And just kind of like looking at the landscape passing by, just kind of reflected through it.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of like stretch my legs underneath the air coming from below, and kind of like almost just kind of like hunch down to just kind of like feel it there.
You're partially aware of Natalie and Cooper constantly looking behind, and there's this weird thing up in the ceiling where they can see, and you can see yourself, and you look at yourself at different points as well. Like, you look different. How unusual is that to see you with a different face?
There's less hair than there was before, and I almost smell different. Less. I smell a lot more like the meat I usually dine on. It's Strange.
Very.
Honestly, like at a certain point, I'm just kind of like figure out that like my paws aren't paws anymore, and I just kind of start to like rub my hands along my arms and hands and just
Hmm.
getting used to this new texture.
Yeah. Exploring with the curiosity of a wolf, getting used to these senses and the feelings of one of them.
Like I notice that my teeth aren't like nearly as like sharp or spread out as they used to be. I'm just kind of like feeling around in there.
Hmm. Very strange. This, whatever it is that you're in, stops moving. There's a fence on one side, a bit like the one that you had back at home, but the formation is different. Rather than weaving around like a snake, this one's just these very formulaic bars, little points that are coming up. And Kupu sits at the front, who has been mostly silent, just staring out the window, other than the occasional to look around at you, bonking your head on the window and like looking through the air vent. He turns around and said, "What are we waiting for? Hundo was supposed to meet us here. You see him? No. He's not." There's a knocking behind you. They look up at the rear and you see another one of these human people behind, peering through. He's got a very surly face. He then walks around the side, and you hear Cooper say, "Is that him?" "No, that's..." He leans over to where... He walks over and to see where Natalie is. She's the one driving the car, like wind the window down. You hear her gulp and winds it down. "Spotlight. Where's..." "Get out." "What?" "Get her out. Now." He takes a step back. Alright. She opens her car door. As the window on her side is down, you can hear the bit of the conversation. She's having difficulty. She's literally, "I don't care. Open the door." She stops almost immediately and opens the door. How do you feel about this person talking to Natalie like that?
I don't appreciate it. I'm almost reminded of the children earlier
Hmm.
and my initial response there. And then I remember what happened afterwards, and I try to contain myself.
Hmm. I'll put a pin in that for the time being. You slowly, understanding what he's saying and the meaning of "get out," you sort of slinky your way out with enough balance to baby's first steps sort of thing. This person that's standing in front of you, I will describe it in human terms. He looks like a serial killer. Very aggressive looking face, dishevelled hair and face, plenty of hair around the arms, loose fitting clothes. And you get a sense from him that's both alien and familiar. Alien in that this human feeling, but familiar that he's like you. And he's standing there looking at you in these clothes with a face that looked like he's bitten a wasp. And you say this happened literally an hour ago. There was some kids at the... I don't give a shit. Name? Her name's Ezra. I mean, she... Oh, right. Literally just happened. Right. Okay. Fresh, indeed. Where's Hundo? He couldn't fucking be here. That's why I'm here. It's going to be a long night. Okay. You two can fuck off. We'll take over from here. Wait, that's it? Cooper says. Cooper, please. You know the amount of trouble that's going to happen. That's not my fucking problem. Flash will take it up. I'm now dealing with this. He looks around as if he was looking for something. I'm just going to make a roll for him. Okay. Just when he finishes looking around, he shifts and takes on a very familiar form to you. He looks like, as you once did, a wolf. Only his fur is red. You now have the understanding that your fur was a bit on the greyish side. He gestures with his head for you to follow, runs, and leaps over the fence.
At first, I go to follow him on Paul before I remember no pause. And I just kind of struggle to get forward or to try and get over the fence. I don't quite understand the capabilities of this new form.
I'll say that I won't make you roll for it, but I think we get there eventually. And maybe just through the sheer will of things, you able to turn, bursting through the clothes that you've just received. And we'll see what happens next. And there's one more amongst us that we have to be dealing with. We've dealt with wolves. We've dealt with humans. Rules, systems and society, all rules of all humans' rules have been broken thus far. But the rules of werewolves is a very interesting discussion. And the rules of a werewolf have been broken. And two werewolves get it on. In the system, it's referred to as producing a metis. But from here onwards, we'll refer to them as the Krynospawn. I will gesture in a corner somewhere on YouTube where I talk about this. And we're going to rewind the time back by quite some time now. The year is 2015. And somebody has just turned 3 years old. There are many bits of patches of woodland and the Sept of the Green, Central Park. For some to move about, to be as themselves, under the protection of nature and other forces that may be. And a little white baby, and when I say white, I mean albino white or albino white.
Yep.
Chuckling, giggling, moving away, chasing something. And they bump their hand into a little wheel. The wheel of a shopping cart. A shopping cart filled with all sorts of junk. Knickknacks. All sorts of things that very few individuals in this world can have fun playing with. Oh, there you are. Your mum's been rather worried about you. And you recognise this individual. Despite everybody calling her mother, you don't know whose mother she actually is. This is, for all intents and purposes, the one in charge of everyone. An old bog lady of an individual by the name of Louisa. Mother Louisa. She groans and creaks as she sits down with you. I've bought something for you to play with. And she pulls her hand through a little hole in the shopping cart and pulls out what you think might have been a Spider-Man once, but there's a leg missing, there's an arm missing, and you're pretty sure that he was supposed to be saying stuff when you pulled on a string. But it doesn't do anything. But the whole motion of pulling on the string is very entertaining to you, Kenzie, giggling and laughing away. Mother Louisa, this hag that she is, just cackling away with you, just You are going to get someone into a lot of trouble if you keep wandering off like this, little one, and like little boop on your little toddler nose.
Yeah. Kinsey would laugh at that, but lower their head a little bit as well, knowing that, yeah, they shouldn't be, but it's still so much fun to run and stretch their legs.
Mm. And you also, like, who worries too much as a 3-year-old, you know?
Exactly.
You know, little Kenzie. And she starts talking maybe more at you as you're more interested in the toy that she's giving you and whatever, like, half can of baked beans or newspaper clippings that she's got in this shopping cart. I had a dream about you recently. And I saw that you are going to do many things. And she keeps looking over to you, knowing full darn well that you're not really listening, or maybe you're listening more than she's expecting you to.
Yeah, Kenzie pauses for a moment as they do turn their attention towards Mother Lorenza, just actually tilting their head a little bit curiously.
Yes, you! And, like, again, boops you on the nose like a cat. You're going to see lots of exciting things. Some of them are going to be good exciting. Some of them are going to be bad exciting. But I know that at the end of it all, you're going to make... And she gestures with a bent finger somewhere in front of her. A lot of Garou really proud. And it's not going to be easy. I know that your mother and father... She pauses. They think the world of you. But unfortunately the world doesn't think the world of you. And I wish things were different. But we're doing our best. And I know that you are going to do your best as well. And she sighs, almost sad. Oh my God, there you are! It's the familiar voice of your mother, who a lot of people refer to as Bitter Mercy for some reason, but other people call her Claire, like, you know her as Mum, or Mummy. She picks you up by the pits and scoops you up and holds you. And then she realises who's the one that's found her. Mother Louisa, I've told you before, Bitter Mercy, to take better care of your children. I know, I mean, spare me the sycophancy. He's a little worm that's like a bar of soap, she says, groaning to stand up again, clutching onto a little shopping cart. We were just having a nice little chat. He's a very good listener. Is he really? Yes. I mean, he's still awake, for one thing. Yes. Yes, he is. And thank you. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I know that you're doing your best. I was there when he was born. What a noise that was. Yeah, I didn't know that... Like 3 months in Krynos form. You were warned. I know. But young love, kids just don't listen to your elders. And she pokes her in the arm forcibly. Like, you can probably feel that your mother's grimacing, and of course, you know, the playful nature of things. You don't quite understand that Louisa is playfully telling your mother off, and you probably giggle at that. Like, there's a bit of play and banter between the two of them. Wow, I must be moving. I have things to see, places to explore. Mother Louisa, you have probably explored all of New York. What is it that you have possibly left to see? Oh, I never said it was going to be in New York. I'm sure Hundo, once he's finished dealing with the homeless, as he so often does, he will be able to tell you. She looks at her a bit confused at that, but this is just Mother Louisa speaking in riddles again. Well, when you see your partner again, the vagabond that he is, send him my regards. I will, Mother Louisa. Is everything all right? Yes, it is fine. I've never felt better. Just carry on the bone oral traditions of travelling. Well, hitchhiking. You take care, sweetheart, and keep a better eye on him. Oh no, I know, Mother Louisa. She wanders away in a little shopping cart with one of the brakes is clearly still locked on the wheel as it like bumps and moves along. She mutters away to herself. You see her walk away from your mother and sort of literally disappears before your eyes. You're aware that it's something that others of your ilk could do. You can't quite do that yet, but you're told that when you're a grown-up, you'll be able to do that just like everybody else can. So, the year is 2021 now. You're a bit older. About 9. I think it's just before your 9th birthday. And you're waiting ever so excitedly because you know that your dad has gone off to this strange place called England and you know that he's going to come back. So he's constantly on and about. You rarely see him, and your mum's, not that you'd appreciate it, but she's tired, practically a single mum. But other people about, you're watching the other kids play in like a playground. You're again sitting like away from everybody else. Your mother is yawning, looking at a watch. I'm sure your dad will be here soon. You're being very patient, very patient.
I try. I know he's coming soon. You tell me to wait, and good things happen when you wait.
Yes, exactly. You definitely you do listen sometimes. Again, you stop listening because you see your dad is coming on. He's got like this big old gym rucksack sort of thing. What does your dad, Nor's the jackpot, look like?
Nas the jackpot is he's a middle-aged man, roughly around 42 at the time right now. Gray hair with little streaks of black from... Probably the only bits of color in his hair are the little black streaks due to, fighting a war tends to age a person. Aside from that, he has dull blue eyes. He's rather tall, 6'2", 220 pounds, very, very built for his age. And he has just sort of raggedy clothing, sort of like very much hobo aesthetic, but a little bit more cleaned up than your average vagabond. Very much just not caring, but still putting in at least a little bit of effort.
Yeah. What do you do when you see him? He sees the two of you. He's got this big, infectious grin on.
Kenzie's eyes immediately light up as they immediately jump down and start running on all fours for hopping into their father's arms.
He gets down, he squats down, he opens his arm, you practically leap onto him, he grabs you, he picks up and spins you all the way around. He so often does, like, oh, Jesus Christ, you are getting big. And he, ruffles the little hair that you have on the top of your head, and he plonks you back down, and, as he so often does, gestures you away from where people could see the little mutant baby. How have you been? You've been looking after your mum. You've been good.
Yes, sir. I've been good. I promise.
Has he been good? He's been Kenzie. I know. And they give each other a hug and a kiss. And he bends down again, squats down, and said, oh, have I much to tell you? I've met up with some friends of mine in a city in England called Norwich, right? You won't believe it, right? And your mum interrupts you. Is this appropriate? Yeah, it will. I'm not going to say any of the weird stuff, not the stuff I've been sending you. Look, it's this thing. It has a whole shop, right, dedicated to mustard. It's literally called the Mustard Shop, and he gets a picture up on his phone and he shows you it's this big stone building with like a brown roof, and it literally says in like 1970s cream letters, the Mustard Shop, and he like shows some things inside. There's some other bone gnaws you recognise, like there's a picture of Fenzi who came back a couple of days earlier on, Rush who was also there, he looks fucking plastered as he always does, but there is just like shelves just lined with tins of mustard. You've never seen so much yellow in your life. It's the strangest thing, right? And he carries on a bit like this, and it's like maybe you're not listening to all of it, you're just happy to hear his voice again because it's been so long, and he interrupts himself. I got you something. And he opens up his little bag. It better not be another knife. It's not a knife, it's something better than that. And he's rummaging through, like, again, clothes, everything's just mismanaged, and then he holds up this massive binder of keys, like something out of like a fantasy thing or whatever. Eh? Keys? Yeah?
Hetsy's eyes go even wider than before as they see it, because they've heard stories about how certain bonars have massive lumps of keys on them. So seeing this, we're like, is this one of those? Is this one of those? That's going through their head right now.
Yeah, and your face is just saying all of this, as interesting as it is, because remember, he is looking in the face of a tiny werewolf, white as winter snow, pink eyes and all the rest of it. He's learned to work out the intricacies of werewolf face. Said, this is, and he moves forward a bit quieter now, this is something known as a lost keyring. Like, you won't be able to use it properly just yet. Don't tell Hondo that I got you this, because I really shouldn't have done. But what it will allow you to do, right? If you put some of, we talked about Gnosis, remember? This your spiritual essence. You'll basically be able to unlock any door that you put one of these keys in. Just don't use it too much, otherwise you're going to get all tired out. And he, like, hands the key ring to you. He's like, Nors, what? You can't give a 9-year-old a rare fetish. He can't use it yet. We need to attune it yet. It's just a fun little plaything for the time being. He will earn it when he hasn't even had the first change yet. Yeah, I know, but it's just a plaything. He just doesn't have to know. Unbelievable. You haven't grown up in the 10 years that I've known you. And he just looks at you, just points at his mum. See, she doesn't get it. She's the children of Gaia. But you and I, we like the collecting things, right?
Hetsy doesn't say anything, but immediately gives their dad a hug for also running over, giving their mom a very big hug as well. And, like, it's a very big one, because tiny werewolf baby hugs are kind of strong.
Yeah, they are. And she sort of like winces a little bit as it grabs around the legs. Like, she looks up. We don't know that he's a bone. Oh, come on. Have you ever seen anybody else so excited to receive a pair of keys? Yeah, you bloody child. Fine. What else is he going to be? Yeah, I mean, fair, but I mean, what else do you think he's going to be? A Fenris? No. Ugh. Like, yeah, he's definitely one of the good ones, and he tuffles your hair a little bit.
As they say Fenris, Kenzie immediately, like, sticks out their tongue, like, in disgust, almost. It's like the bleh they do whenever they hear the word Fenris mentioned around them.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any of that turf nonsense here. They're not all like that. Haven't grown up at all. Are you still hogging onto your mum, by the way, with all this? Have you detached yourself away? Just so I can envision the scene a bit more.
Yeah, they're once again standing in the middle, like, looking back and forth as their parents are having this conversation, still, like, clutching onto the keys, almost like a teddy bear, almost.
That's fair. That's fair. And you're sort of looking at, just loving the moment. It's happy to have the family together again. And you look at your mum, and something you didn't notice before. Maybe it's been there for ages, and you just don't notice. There's a little red dot on her forehead.
Mama, what red dot? And Kenzie points at their own forehead where the red dot would be on their mom's forehead.
And Nors, your dad, looks down. So, what are you talking about? And he's looking and he doesn't see anything. And your mum puts like a finger on her head. Now you'd expect like the finger to cover the dot, but it doesn't. The red dot envelopes it. Bang! Blood sort of explodes around you. It's not the only loud noise that you hear. This is very quickly accompanied by other screams and snarls. Your dad suddenly grabs you by the wrist and runs with you. I'm presuming you're going to let him?
Yeah, because Kenzie right now is way too confused because they know things die, but they never seen that happen in front of them before.
No. Your dad is, you can hear him panting and like just, fuck. And he practically throws you against like a rock that you see that he's beginning to change and shift. You know that there's like a crossover point between what you are and human, known as the Glabro, like the wolf man sort of thing. Stay here. And he begins to run and charge off into the distance. What do you do?
Kenzie is scared as tears begin to go down their cheek, but at the same time, there's this rage that they were used to feeling, but now it's even more to the surface as the fear turns to anger, which turns into pure, sort of almost blinding rage that they don't know how to fully contain or work through.
Can you roll for me Dex and Dodge?
Dex and Dodge, I can indeed.
Can't believe they bambied his mom.
Don't say it like that. What difficulty?
7. I should have said that earlier on, so I forgot. I was caught up in the moment.
It's fine, it happens. Oh, God. Oh, that's, I botched that.
Okay. Pick a limb.
Right arm. No, left arm. Left arm.
You feel something large and slimy grab said arm, and you are tossed a few feet in front of you. Can you roll your stamina, please?
I will indeed. Regular difficulty?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. 2 successes.
Okay. I mean, that hurt, but it's not going to break any bones or anything. You might get a nasty bruise. Hey, you've probably had a thought in your lifetime and wanted to go flying. When you able to regain yourself and work out what the fuck that was, you look to see roughly where you were standing, and you see 2 figures, one of which is recognisable, sort of, and the other one is recognisable, sort of. One of them is clearly a werewolf. You've seen Garou in there crying or sworn before. Not all that often, because you are aware that you are not able to participate in these sorts of things just yet. You've been taught, you recognise these things. You obviously look the way that you do. But you haven't seen any of them this ill-looking, with fur as black and as mangy as this is. Although, it's weird because the face of this wolf doesn't really look like a wolf. It sort of looks like someone has closed their eyes and tried to draw a bat with the nostrils that are sort of flared up, fangs are sort of all over the place, the ears are sort of big and wild as well. It's sort of moving towards you on its legs, and you can see like these weird flaps of skin beneath the pits and around the groin area. And the other one is a woman who doesn't actually look that much older than you, I would say 14, 15 years of age, who is wearing next to nothing. To best describe the image as quickly as I can, we are talking edgy 90s, early noughties female protagonist. So, scantily dressed, pushed up, bra, tits, you know, a lot of flesh is being revealed, but again, this woman is not the most attractive thing in the world either. At least initially, she sees you and then begins to shift back. So once looked like a furry wolf lady, i.e. Grabro, something looks a bit more attractive, which under different circumstances, this could probably be like an older girl that you, as a prepubescent tween, might have found attractive, but given the knife in their hand, I don't think they're here to play. And she turns to the much larger wolf and said, Yizik, you go and have fun. This one's mine. The wolf next to her just sort of gives a little, almost a mutated Muttley sort of like, and begins to pound it away, boom, 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 on all fours, just accompanying the gunshots, the screaming, the roaring, leaving you and this woman and that dagger. What do you do?
Kenzie knows that when danger happens, they were taught two ways. One, try and resolve it as peacefully as you can, or as their mother taught them, or as their father taught them, go for the throat, nothing else matters, punch up. So when they're more alone, Kenzie's going to try and make themselves look smaller than they are. Lower their ears, sort of lower their tail, lower their head, showing the signs of usual submission that they learned from wolves and other Garou as they were taught. The sign of obedience and submission. And just waits for the person to get closer.
Okay. So you do all of that, and the woman is strutting over, swaying her hips very deliberately side to side, heel toe sort of thing. It's like, oh, the cute little puppy wants to play. She gets closer and closer until she's practically in front of you.
Kenzie's going to, as soon as they get close enough, Kenzie's going to try and lunge up and go for the throat.
All
just
right.
as they were taught.
Okay, so give me a dex and a brawl, please. And I believe with that specific wording, that's actually one of your specialties.
Dirty fighting.
Close enough. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'd definitely say that would apply here.
Right, standard did.
Yup.
Alright. That is 6 successes.
Interesting, that's exactly the same that this woman got. Okay, so what happens is, you do manage to, like, I don't know, like a little nip, but as it's a tie, there's a bit of a stalemate sort of thing. She's able to pin you down still, so you do a little bit of damage. And she straddles you. You're lying down, and she's sort of like straddling, lying on your arm sort of thing. Oh, you think you're so strong and brave. Oh, the fun. Yes, I could have fun with you. I have some friends who would really like you. Would you like to see my friends? We could pass you around like a teen at a frat party. Would you like that?
Kenzie snarls loudly. He keeps trying to bite and wriggle free.
Dex and brawl, please, to wriggle free.
Right. Oh, God. Diff 6, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Alright. 4 successes.
Yeah, wasn't as successful this time, unfortunately. You wriggle and you're snapping away very puppy-like in the circumstance. Like, oh, it's so cute when they fight back, and she slaps you. Not hard, not to cause any pain, like she is clearly mocking you. Oh, you all like to think that you're so tough, that you're above the law of order of things. But you know what? I like your spunk. How you fight back. You know, I could take you with me and we can really have more people like you, because they don't appreciate people like you. Little Krynos-born puppies like you. There are lots of people like them, like you and my friends. Can show you what we can do together. Can make you show all the fun that we can have you screaming, Yizak, please beat me more. Please make me suffer more. I deserve it. What do you say?
Kenzie keeps snarling like an animal that's backed into a corner and only has one thing they can do. Just keep trying to fight, keep trying to wait.
You don't have to wait much longer, because you grow. A bit. Not too much. Now, fun little lore dive here. What does a Krynos-born do when they undergo their change? Because they're already a Krynos-born, we've already established that. Well, usually they would turn into the form that they're most accustomed to seeing, and under most circumstances I would say this is Homid. But given the scenario that's happening here, you know, doing what makes most sense, like survival, it's going to be most useful and instinctual to the wolf. You bulk up, you grow more fur, snapping and snarling, not really taking in sight or anything. I will describe what Yizak does for the benefit of the audience, because you are unable to have any real awareness of what's going on at this point. As you're snapping, biting around, and Yizak is clearly being a fucking tease, for lack of a better phrase, swiping her knife away to keep you away. Clearly, this is all fun and games to her, and she just laughs and cackles, which you are kind of aware of, because you obviously do have ears. Oh, my first popped a cherry. And you bite at her arm eventually. And then something comes to your rescue, all bulked up in the Krynos form, tosses her aside. She falls down a little ditch, a little slope in this park. Roars, goes after. You, still in this frenzy state, run and grab whatever you can. But something grabs you and pins you to the ground. Not forcefully, but like forcing you over and having your belly exposed. That sign of weakness, that sign of submission from the wolf exposing the belly, and you sort of like, your vision and your senses are coming back to you. It's your dad, keeping you pinned down, and you're able to calm yourself, and you slowly begin to shift back. No, son. You couldn't have done anything. The trap's down there. Fuck. He shifts back. He, mastering a means of shifting with his clothes, doesn't have it all tear like you do. And you're just sitting there. He puts himself underneath his jacket, rocking with you, shaking, bloodied. The violence, the gunshots, everything around you is still going on, but for that moment in time that you are safe. Unaware that this day would haunt you for the rest of your life. You see visions of this woman. That horrible smile. That as you've gotten older, the connotations of what she said to you. How vile. the black spiral dancers can be. And you would very quickly learn that that was a very, not only an impromptu attack, but it decimated the sept. It is 2026, and you stand by the turtle pond with your elders, with your dad, fiddling with those keys that he gave you those years ago, waiting for the other Garou who have undergone their first change fairly recently, and you've been made to wait all this time just because of how infrequent the changes are, and just in the span of a few months all these other Garou have changed, and now you are going to be joining them, or rather they are going to be joining you for your rite of passage to become a Garou proper and not some second-class citizen. And you're vaguely aware of some people coming towards you, and you can put together that these people who are clearly older than you are going to be your pack to be. But as you're waiting for them to make their way over with different elders of the sept around you, I'm going to end this session by asking you a question. Mother Louisa, who you know from years ago, is no longer with her. She disappeared and she was reported dead. Went off to die peacefully in Providence. She had mentioned that your mother and father had taught you many things, and they continue to teach things, and soon you're going to go out into the wide world and learn things for yourself. What 3 pieces of wisdom did your mother part you with?
Try and always use your words before you resort to the claws. To bolster your allies, to try and be their shield when they don't need a sword. And to never let that small part of you that brings wonder and joy fully die. To always try to have some sort of smile, even when things are bitter.
Some very wise words. Very Children of Gaia coded. And I wonder whether your father, who has clearly been changed by all of this too, he's around more, but at the same time he's not around as more. How he's dealing with all of this. I wonder how our 4 Garou-to-be are going to handle, and have been handling, their new existence, all their traumas, their unresolved family business. What troubles will come back to bite them in the arse, both in human, wolf, and whatever else they encounter along the way. What difference and what changes they're going to bring to New York City. Well, that's for the rest of this chronicle to decide. So tune in next time, and I'll see you whenever and wherever that may well be for you. And until next time, farewell.